Congratulations, bro.
Good
man.
job, bro.
You are the Hunt World Heavyweight Champion for the first time. Yeah.
It took an army.
he's still not talking. You can talk now.
Flashes of when I was a champion. 2 weeks ago, I was on cloud 9. I was a champion, and now I'm lost. I don't have that belt, so it's crazy. But anyways, happy Sunday to everybody. Thanks for joining. I know in our comic community, there's a lot of wrestling fans, and tonight is WrestleMania. So if you guys are tuning in and you're watching that, appreciate it. I guess you'll be able to say that you are watching the Newbie show while WrestleMania, so that's cool. But yeah, nevertheless, thanks guys for stopping by. It literally feels like forever ago that we've done something. I guess that's what happens when we moved the show to Monday last week. Things just got a little crazy, but it feels like we haven't done this or interacted or talked comics in a while. So again, thanks for joining. You guys know the deal. My two amigos are here to join me. We will be talking, we will be talking obviously comics, comic news, and comic spec. So hopefully you guys are ready for everything. Wow, I got the hiccups already, and I'm not even done my beer. So yeah, let's bring in the amigos. First up, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. FaceTime. What's going on, brother?
Not much. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. It seems like forever. We haven't talked in well, we talk every day, but you know, it seems like we haven't done it live or anything.
It does seem like it's been a minute between shows.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So
you lost about.
That's crazy. So
yeah.
Last week I came on. I was a champ. Last week, Hyper came on and was a champ. So we had two champions on the panel. This week, we've only got one champion. It is Mr. Blue Pill himself, the two-time champ, Mr. Hyper Combo.
What's up? What's up, chat? What's up, Newbie? What's up, Face? Yes, the champ is here, and don't worry, I know that Newbie will be back, and he will reclaim his throne, so fear not.
That's right. That's right. But hey, man, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you guys haven't checked it, go check out Tony Sanders' channel. Check the rewind. Check what happened. Check what went down. Check out everybody who was on there. You know, you had Roscoe, Boston. You had Dr. Banger, Tony himself, me. You know, Hyper. Everybody. Two Brothers. So big shout outs to him. Dustin from Two Brothers took my title. Big shout outs to him. Himalaya was on there. So yeah, a lot of good guys in our little community. So you know, shout out to them. Shout out to Tony. And yes, I will be back. I will be back to defend. Oh, dude, and Biggie. Can't forget Biggie. Biggie was on there too. So yeah, but I will be back. Mark my words.
And Newbie, it's funny you should mention WrestleMania. While the show is going on, I actually have WrestleMania playing in the background. So
okay. Well, if The Rock comes back and wins, let me know.
I don't think he's wrestling anytime soon, but sure, I'll let you know.
Yeah, pretty sure he's not in this.
Damn.
Yeah.
I haven't watched wrestling in a very long time, man. So yeah,
I feel like he might be recording right now.
I don't know who's wrestling or you know who's still in it, but hey, it is what it is. All right, guys. We know why we're here. Before we start, I just got to give a few shout outs. First up, we got Big B Comics. They got 3 stores, Niagara, Hamilton, and Barrie. The one I rep is Niagara, so make sure you guys go check them out. I know Hyper's actually checking Big B out because he's going to be getting a few books. I won't name the books, but I know he's getting a few things.
Actually, well, yeah, I just made a purchase today at Big B regarding a book that I was trying to find everywhere else, and it was sold out, and Big B actually had it. And in order to take advantage of the free shipping, because you had to, I think, order $50 over, I ordered a non-comic book related item, which you will probably see in a future unboxing.
Sweet.
Nobody wants to see that, bro.
So I'll just leave it at that.
Sweet. Well, I got a feeling it's probably Blade related, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles related, somewhere around there.
Whoa, It's a good thing you kind of corrected yourself, man.
Yeah, I had to, man. I had to. But yeah, nevertheless, so yeah, go check out Big B. They got some good stuff, and like Hyper said, sometimes they might have some stuff that you think are kind of sold out, but they have it. Especially if you're in Canada, it's there. But go check them out. Next up, we got my man Bleecker Street Comics, $10 a press, $5 a clean. He is doing super well. He's getting a lot of pressing opportunities going, so make sure you guys send your books now before he gets crazy busy. Also, make sure you guys go check out his website. He's got over like 3,000 books already, so make sure you guys go check that out. Tell him Newbie sent you. So yeah, make sure you guys go check out Bleecker Street. He's got Instagram as well, but make sure you guys go check out the website. And next up, if you need a logo, an intro, whatever the case may be, Shape State Creative. Message my boy Derek. Tell him Newbie sent you. There's the contact information. So if you guys are looking for logos or intros, things like that, that's where you go get it. And of course, big shout outs to Mutant Beaver. Use code word Newbie10, get 10% off. If you've ever watched the movie Interstellar, there's a guy on one of those planets. He ordered from them. He got his books pretty fast. He used Newbie10. You should too. So make sure you guys go tune in and check out Mutant Beaver Comics. Boom. Cool. Actually, I just said that because I was watching that movie in the background while I was working. Yeah, Interstellar is one of my top favorite movies, man. It's like I love that stuff. So yeah. All right, before we start our show, let's get into the chat. Let's say hello to a few friends because we haven't seen or talked to a lot of these people. So gold medal, comics talk weekly. What's going on? Are there donuts? Somebody said there'd be donuts. Reno's silver medal. What's going on, man? And Bleecker Street bronze. Thank you guys for tuning in. Dan's in here. Who else we have? Kuma, comic dude. Kevin. What's going on, Kev? Philly born. Bricks. We've got Hidden Gem, who's early tonight. What's going on, man? Appreciate it. We've got Miid, RP, Travis, Marvell, Phil, and we've had a few people in and out. So, hey, it's a crazy Sunday. We'll get through it. You guys ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
For why not?
Oh, and Hawaiian Punch.
Hawaiian Punch. What's going on, man? My brother. All right, let's get started. So you guys know the drill. New comic book day, comic news, and then we're going to hit you with Newbie spec. So let's get to it. I will say, and we always appreciate feedback, but I will say I feel like this week is a slow week. Just one of those weeks. And that's okay. I don't know, man. I was looking at it and I'm like,
Oh, it actually should be a slow week, but there's one book in particular that I kind of got a couple of ratios on that kind of made it a bit of a heavy week, but we'll get into that after.
And Bleecker saying,
for you motherfuckers.
Congratulations to the champ, by the way. Big
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Two-time
thanks for tuning in.
Hopefully a 3-time champ, but we'll see.
In 2 weeks, we'll see.
Boom. All right. New comic book day. Let's get it going, fellas. Let's start off with Image, and we've got Birthright. The other day I was reading, I was like looking at it and I was like, is that Birthnight? And then because the way the H ends off and then that sword in the title, like from far away, it's almost like birth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like you know what it reminds me of? You know when people used to try to trick you with like, hey, read this, and it was like the book, and like you would always say like the once because your mind doesn't really register both. It was like one of those like mind tricks.
Okay, I can kind of see what
I was gonna say like nobody knows.
I kind of get it, but I don't quite get it. But
I'm gonna get you guys one time with it, and we'll see. But like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Whew.
I mean,
how many of them beers did you have for the show?
I'll agree with you just so that you save face on your show.
Oh my gosh! All right, so we got Birthright number 48. I gotta be honest. You guys hear me say this a few times, but this is one of those that I don't remember talking about the previous issues at all.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Somehow I knew you were gonna say that. 46 issues in.
Yeah, I don't remember talking about this. The art, the title, nothing about this. like registers with me. So I don't know. Like Face, I know you buy a lot. Is this something that you've been on or no?
Nope.
Okay.
I have heard of the series before. I'm actually surprised it's still going on. I thought it actually ended, but yeah, because I have heard about the series and there was a bit of buzz surrounding it. But yeah, it must be doing something right if it's already 48 issues deep.
Yeah,
I
and
could
that's
be
what I
wrong.
was kind of scared of. The fact that it was 48 issues in.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I think in the solicits, it's either in the last like story arc or something like that. So I think it is coming to an end. I could be thinking of a different title altogether, but
Okay.
I want to say it is, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't really jumped on it at this point.
Right. Okay.
That's fair. Fair judgment. Next up, we've got Home #1. And of course, I don't remember talking about this because guess what? It's #1. It's the first one. So here we go. That's always something that intrigues us as comic people, right? The first issue of anything is usually something that people talk about.
Yeah, this one I actually did read the solicit. It's interesting because it feels like it's kind of focusing on the whole immigrant experience, but almost like in a supernatural sense, I think. So it might be something to look into. I don't know the author very well who's writing this book, so I can't really speak on if she's a good writer or not. But just based on the solicits, it seems like an interesting premise.
Dan is saying, sorry, before we go on, Dan is saying that he's having a blurry image.
From who? From like one of our screens or just?
I don't know.
It seems clear on my end.
Yeah, I got it. Well, let us know. Yeah, this when I was reading the solicitations as well, like it just seemed like it was kind of dealing with. I mean, if you read it, it's basically that, right? That whole immigrant stuff, being torn away from your family and stuff like that. So something that I don't know, an issue that was going on in the U.S., especially right in the last couple, I'd say year and a half, 2 years. So probably can hit home with a lot of us. Immigrant myself, so
yeah.
Well, yeah, 2 covers. I would have. I got to say, I would have preferred this one to be cover A, though. I feel like this one's got. It kind of hits home with what they're trying to
do. Yeah. This almost reminds me of that scene in Jurassic Park. You know when the kid's trying to climb the fence and then they put the power on and then he gets blasted.
That's messed up.
Because of the electricity. No, because the electric. Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's the imagery I got. How's that? Now I'm just trying to start shit for no reason.
It's a short series too, so when I see the short stories, I think, okay, #1, if #1 it is a #1, and #2 if it's a short story, you might be able to see the bulk of like say first appearances or characters. So if this were to ever be something, this is probably where you want to start. This is probably the one issue that you have, but it's like something that Face always talks about. Like when you jump on these small series, you might as well just get all 5 just because of the fact that it's just 5 issues, right?
Right.
Exactly. If you're into the story, you might as well not just quit on, say, issue 2 or issue 3. Might as well just finish it off and get, that 4th and 5th one.
Well, my rule is like if issue 1 doesn't do it for me, I kind of basically cut it off right then and there. But if I'm already like, let's say 3 issues in, then at that point I'll just stick to the rest of the series.
Yeah. Yeah. Tim, no, you haven't missed it. Dude, we are literally on like the 3rd book, man. So yeah, you're right. If anything, you just missed me butchering Birthright 48. I said Birth Night. But other than that, you're good, man. You're good. Let's see here. Oh, we got a Source. What's up, man? How's it going? You guys know where he's located, Spine Ticks. Make sure you guys go check him out. He's doing the card thing as well. I think he joins them on Wednesday on the PSA. But you guys know Source Tiger. He's on the Spine Ticks.
Well, they kind of changed their format. Wednesdays, they kind of basically consolidated their PSA segment into a Saturday show. And Wednesdays, I think they're kind of spotlighting different members of the community. So kind of doing that kind of segment. So
Vancouver Comic Junkie, you guys already know. You guys know where he is. He's in Vancouver. What's going on, Chris? Big shout outs to Chris. Busy guy. but he's got a lot of fuego. So Uncanny, what's going on? Brick Hunter, thanks for joining, guys. All right. Next up, we've got Homesick Pilots number 5. Basically, the book that almost all the covers are basically the same. In my opinion, they're all the same. I haven't picked it up. I haven't been on it. I'm probably not going to be on it this week either. But yeah, is it still got the hype that it did when the first issue came out, or no?
I don't think it's high.
I don't think the hype. What was that,
What did
Face?
you say?
I said I don't think the hype is as high as it has been.
Yeah,
No.
I agreed.
It's just a victim of when there's a lot of things getting released new every week. It just kind of falls in that pile, right? So it's
Pretty
not
much.
that the story isn't great. It's just that other things keep coming out every week that's brand new. So that's the only reason why it's probably kind of in the back burner right now. But yeah, this is the end of the first story arc. Just an FYI.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it, guys. I've been very open. One reason why I haven't really been to, well, there's a lot of reasons, and Reno's here can tell you, but even key issues, anybody in Ontario really. But the last 3 weeks I've been working like a dog, so I haven't really been able to go to a comic shop. And now we're back on a lockdown as of last Thursday. Everything is closed again, so
yeah,
it's gonna be a while. And they're telling us not to go out, so it is what it is.
Man, at least you don't have a curfew yet. They put our curfew back to 8 p.m. after this Sunday.
Oh, jeez, yeah. And you guys are in Quebec, so if you guys didn't know, Hyper's actually in the next province over. So we actually have different laws going on and like rules. We're obviously both in the 2 provinces that have like the highest cases too, so that doesn't really help. But yeah. All right, moving on. We've got this one. I think it was Hyper. I think it was you or Face. Obviously, one of you two. But you guys were kind of high on Carmen number 1 when it came out.
Well,
or just cover.
More so cover B, the infamous bum cheek cover.
Oh, that's right. Yes. And that's the one that the girl had like no pants or whatever. And then Sith, I remember that now. Yes.
But it's I didn't pick it up, but from my friends that have picked it up, they have said it's a good read, and they probably will be sticking to the series.
Yeah, you should have picked it.
I think Face picked this up, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a pretty funny series. And it looks like there's gonna be some pretty interesting some twists coming down the road too.
Yeah, and to be honest, like I know it's like to some it might not be how do I put this? Like to some it might just be like a cover. Like it's not like the greatest cover. But it's the colors, that purple, that bluish green, like I don't know. I get attracted to like those weird colors and like a nice cover. I really think that this one's sleek. So I always say, like if there's a cover that sometimes makes me look twice, I might feel like I should buy it or like kind of look more into it. That girl with no pants, and then this one, like I like these covers. So I might be interested, but hey, we'll see.
I think this week is there only one cover for this issue this week?
Yeah, there's only one.
I think there's some exclusives. I can't remember if there's a B cover or not.
Let me do the number trick brought to us by our friends at Drunken Chat.
But I mean, if it's not on previews, it would be a ratio instead. So yeah.
Right.
And finishing off Image, we've got Scumbag number 7. Scumbag has been something that a lot of people have been asking me throughout the weeks if I'm into it, if I'm reading it. I'm hearing a lot of good things about it from certain people, but I still haven't been on it. What do you guys have to say?
I think Face could say more about this because I only read the first issue. I liked it, but it's one of those things that I'm probably going to wait until it's collected in a trade or something. It's just one of those things that I just fell victim of not making it to my pull list. But it was a fun issue for the first one, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the series. I've been picking it up, and I enjoy it. It's fucking hilarious. So, but it's definitely not all ages at all.
No, not at all.
Brick is saying I skipped Lighthouse, so I guess we'll go talk about Lighthouse. Sorry, Bricks.
Did skip Lighthouse, bro.
Did I? Okay, yeah. All right, so we got number one. Sorry, guys, I not on top of my game today. But yeah, so we got Lighthouse number one. So what is it? Jules Verne?
Jules Verne. You might have heard of him.
Verne. Lighthouse issue number one. I don't know. Hey, you're usually like on top of your game when it comes to new stuff that's coming out.
Hyper, go ahead.
You're reading the citation, aren't you?
What, I don't.
No, I mean the only thing is Jules. No. Jules Verne, I do know is a famous author that did what is it like the something leagues in the sea or something.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
There you go. I forgot the number, but it was that many thousands in the leagues in the sea, something like that. I just pulled a newbie on that one, but that's the only thing I know about this. Just the name Jules Verne stuck out. Face, take it away. I'm passing it to you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Jules Verne is a very famous sci-fi writer, and I actually don't know a whole lot about what they're gonna do with this comic book series, but I like Jules Verne, so I'm probably gonna check it out.
Is Jules Verne? I mean, Jules Verne is long dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pull the newbie. We'll see. I'm still taking in resumes, so just keep that in mind, okay? Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. This reminds me of how the Golden Age was, like too much going on out there.
Interesting.
I got to be honest with you. Like Golden Age, I've always just kind of stayed away from, and here's why. One, it's too goddamn expensive.
Well,
right?
Yeah, that's probably the main reason.
That's number one. Number two, I'm not big on like the war stuff. So like a lot of those Golden Age have to do with like war. A lot of it is like old school, like Western as well. I'm not the biggest Western. I mean, I liked, the Jesse James, Colin Farrell movie from like, a decade, maybe 2 decades ago. But like, other than that, I'm not the biggest Western or the war fan. So like for those reasons, I was never really into the.
Well, what did you think of Will Smith's Wild Wild West?
Oh God, please stop. Please stop. No, Mark's saying no, meaning a lot of publishers like today. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Golden Age, man, is like, when you're looking at Golden Age, but at the same time, like this is me when someone's like, hey man, I got this Golden Age book. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, because I have no idea of like values, like anything golden. I'm like, it's probably 5K or more. Like there's not a lot of them, like it's just stuff like that. Like, cause if you look at Silver Age, right? Like think about how many people have Silver Age books that like, like you can't get high grades in. So just think about, like years before that in golden, like comics were never collected back then. Right. So like,
I find that it's almost like Golden Age. It's almost like you kind of need to be almost like a specialist in that area, because it's not just like that are still around today. It's like titles that are no longer in existence. So it's like almost like you kind of have to have your own curation of different titles in that. Like at least with Silver Age, titles kind of carried over to the modern age.
Yeah.
Whereas Golden Age, a lot of the stuff is kind of just relegated just to the Golden Age.
Yeah, and I respect the Golden Age guys. I mean, there's nothing against them. It's just, the two factors that have never really led me to the Golden Age stuff is one, price, and two, I'm not the biggest Western. I'm not the biggest war guy. You know what I mean? Like that stuff just doesn't appeal to me. So, I hope that like nobody gets offended by that. Like I'm not into war, like, the Nazi signs and all that. Like it's not my thing. So it is what it is.
Face was quiet the whole time, so you must.
I know. I'm totally confused.
I mean, I'm up in the air on Golden Age stuff. If I come across something that I want and I can afford it at the time, I'll grab it. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I got some. I actually have some Golden Age stuff lined up for Grail versus Grail number 3. Yeah, bracket number 3, which happens next week. So that should be interesting. Yeah, that should be interesting. That should be interesting. All right, let's move on to Dark Horse here, guys. And we've got Avatar: The Next Shadow. This is the end of the run. That's it. We're done. 4 issues in. It is a weird ass cover. I am not a fan of this. I did not read any issue. Just nothing. This was a pass from issue 1 for me.
Yeah, I didn't get on this one.
I've been picking them up, but I actually have not read them yet. I've been waiting until I get all of them. I'm just gonna read it all together.
I mean, okay, so do you know if this is like in terms of is this like canon to the movie, or is this kind of like an event that happens between the first movie and the second movie? Like, do you know where this takes place?
Well, I mean, it's probably canon until fucking Marvel buys the rights.
Mm.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's true. All right, we've got Black Hammer.
I'm sorry,
Disney.
Oh, Disney. Oh, okay, yeah. We've got Black Hammer Visions number 3 of 8. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm not on this, so
I've
It's
never
a dope
been
cover.
in the Black. You just said it's a dope cover. He's saying it's a terrible cover. So
oh, I didn't
I
say
was being sarcastic, bro.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
okay.
no, not me.
no, I was
think
talking about
it's
face.
terrible.
No, I said face, but I didn't realize he was being sarcastic. It's kind of hard to tell when it's just I'm talking to an emoji.
Dude, look at it.
Face, you're on this series though, right? Are you not? Like you?
No, I actually
No.
I didn't get into the Black Hammer stuff when it first started coming out, so I haven't gotten into any of it because I feel like it'd just be too much for me to try and jump into at this point.
Yeah, I remember.
Same exactly.
Yeah. Bricks is saying I know nothing about the Black Hammer universe. Yeah. Well, hey, we could start a Facebook group. We got 4 people right here ready to go. So, okay. And like I said, I think it's a slow week. We might get through the new comic book stuff a little faster, but that just leaves us more time for our comic news. We got Falcon and Winter Soldier talk. We've got spec news. So, like, if we're flying through these books, it happens sometimes. I think it's a slow week. So we'll see where it goes. All right. Jenny Zero, number 1.
Even more books.
We'll get back to it, man. We'll get back to it.
So many number 1s this week.
Yeah. Short series, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess what does this solicitation say? Meet Jenny, the hard-drinking, hard-partying daughter of a beloved superhero. So that's already that could be something. I'm kind of getting the Futurama vibe to this.
Well, this seems like, I mean, from the solicits, it's another kaiju kind of series. So what do we have? We already have like 3 kaiju series already. We have Kaiju Score. We have the one that came from Image, that thick one. What is it called? Yes, that one. Alternate. Yeah, and then Jenny Zero. That $8.99 book that came out. Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Yeah, like the Jenny Zero, I'm with Bricks. It does sound pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna check it out.
If kaijus are in it, I am down. Sick cover though. Yeah, it is actually a pretty cool cover. Jenny Zero sounds cliche. Jenny Zero. Yeah.
Give it a chance.
Yeah, let's give it a chance, guys. Let's give it a chance.
It's
But I
not
just
cool.
think, like if you look at it from a hard drinking, like I think that they could do something with that. Like, not to say again, I don't want to be one of those people that's like, this could be a show or like stack it up. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, the hard drinking, hard partying daughter of a beloved superhero. That right there, without even reading anything else, just right there, that hooked me. You know what I mean? Like, where I could see that being kind of similar to, and not exactly word for word, but like almost like The Boys, or like have that like weird, if they turn it into like a show, like it could be kind of cool. That's all I'm saying.
Or like maybe a movie.
Yeah, or a movie.
And they could get Will Smith the star. It'd be awesome.
As the
Oh wait, they did that. On Hancock.
I think he's being sarcastic. Yeah, he's being sarcastic again.
okay, all right.
Like, it literally sounds like Hancock.
Not necessarily, but yeah,
Oh man, he shows up fucking drunk as shit.
I just watched that movie actually the other day for the first time since I get released, and I totally forgot like everything about it. So, which was good because I like was paying more attention to it, but I remember being like, I forget what happens in this. But
It was a meh movie. It was all right. I watched it when it actually came out.
I like Charlize Theron, so it's yeah. All right, the next book, I guess I missed it, and I don't want to upset anybody. Face, but we got this one right here. Face, you brought up to us that we forgot it, so I'm assuming that you have a bit of information to talk about this one.
Actually, no, I'm not on this series, but we missed it, so.
God damn it, Face.
Breaking news.
All right, well, that's it for that book. Thanks, Face.
Hey, no problem. Glad I can help out.
All right, we've got Young Hellboy, The Hidden Land, number 3 of 4. So this is finishing up real quick. The covers have kind of been similar, in my opinion, but again, not really following it, not really reading it, not close to the chest for me. I don't think none of us are Hellboy fans, right? I know Hyper's not even a big Dark Horse fan. In general.
I mean, I appreciate certain Dark Horse titles here and there. I mean, yeah, but I've never really been a big Hellboy fan though. So, yeah, I mean, I like
I like Hellboy, but the premise of the Young Hellboy was just not something that could draw me in.
Yeah, wait, hold on, Face. Hold on a sec. Hancock didn't party. That's the thing, and he wasn't what's it called? A child of a beloved superhero. You know what? Yeah. So I don't want to apologize for what I was going to say. I didn't think I
the drinking part, obviously.
You know what I mean? I think that J Zero thing could be something cool. So you know what? Newbie approved. I'm gonna go buy the book because I think that down the road maybe that could be something. Could be.
You should stack up probably like 10 copies, bro.
wait.
I don't know.
Wait.
When I get to 80 years old, I think they're gonna make a pill or turn this into robots. So, I don't know.
Stop the press. So can we get a Newbie prediction on the value of that book come Wednesday?
Man, yeah, no, I don't know about that. It's not $1,000 book. It's not $1,000 book in my life, I don't think. But hey, you never know.
It's Dark Horse fucking cover price.
Yeah. All right. IDW. This is where Face and Hyper really shine. So let's go. We got Kanto and City of Giants, 1 of 3. This is really short, so if you're gonna get one, might as well finish it out. Also, Kanto being super hot.
This is the book that I was alluding to, that even though it's a light week, this is the one that I don't know if you would call it heavy on, but I'm getting, because there's 2 ratios for this. There's a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25. I'm getting both ratios, and I'm getting a couple copies of issue 1 for this series. Just because I've been digging Kanto since volume 1 and the one-shots in between, and yeah, I'm going to be sticking with the series until the creators say no more. So.
Yeah, and Kanto's super hot, so why not pick it up? You never know, what characters or what's going on and how it all lines up to when we get that movie or whatever, because it's been confirmed, right? Like what, last month? I think the movie. I can't remember.
Well, it's the production company that's owned by Will Smith and his wife that apparently have signed on to either do an option, like have optioned the rights to do the movie. But yeah, so it looks like wheels are in motion for something to get going with a movie for Kanto.
Yeah, so just follow the path on this one. Like Kanto's hot, so anything of it, just pick it up. It's a number 1. You never know, right? You don't want to miss out. So definitely a pick up.
For sure. Kanto. It's worth reading.
Nice Face. Nice commentating there.
I mean, Hyper got it handled on that one.
No, I just pictured, like, I don't know why. I think it's because I'm in sports, but I just pictured Face as like a sports commentator there for like a half a second, with him being like, and a goal. All right. Face up.
Terrific.
It's like those Spanish commentators. See.
And there's Dan Marino, touchdown. Okay. Yeah, that's how I got Face there. So yeah. All right. Chained to the Grave, number 2. Here we go. 2 of 5. We're at 40% done, believe it or not. I'm just trying to show off my math skills there. I didn't pick up number 1. I'm not going to pick up number 2. What are you guys saying?
Wait, number 1 is the one that actually got multiple printings because I think it was pretty hot, right, for a couple of weeks. Is this the series that I'm thinking of?
I don't.
I'm looking at
because I remember talking about this like 2 weeks ago.
I don't remember seeing it on second print here. I could be
no,
wrong.
No. You know what? I'm thinking probably of another series that has alligators in it. The alligator cover. I can't remember the title. Okay, so it must be
alligator cover. Okay.
Well, all alligators look the fucking same.
You know how many comics there are with alligators, dude?
No, dude. Okay,
also,
how many?
Like, that's offensive because, like, do you even know the difference between alligators and gators? Or crocodiles?
Crocodiles.
Wow. Wow.
Just saying.
This guy's trying to throw me, and he just basically repeats himself.
God damn. I hope Sith is. I hope Sith is cute, but like, I hope he's not like, you know.
He basically just used the same word, but just shortened it, and then tried to trick me into thinking it's 2 different things.
God damn it!
It's like, hey, Newbie, do you know the difference between an automobile and a car?
Touche, Hyper. Touche. Face, I appreciate you not.
I got no words. I got no words.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
It speaks for itself.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right, so we're gonna get off the crocodile cover there. We're gonna go into something I hope Face buys because he's a G.I. Joe guy. So we got G.I. Joe, a real American hero, number 279. Wow. G.I. Joe's is hot, especially the older ones, but there's still a lot of people buying these ones, Face included. Anything we need to know here, Face?
Honestly, I mean, I hate to say it, but this is pretty much one that you probably only pick up if you're on the run. Like, this is mostly just filler to get into the next story arc that introduces a new character. So
I think Newbie just got Entropy's comment. Sorry, Face. It just
a little bit.
Yeah, I've never heard this. So yeah.
You never heard the greeting? Like,
no, I've never heard.
See you later, alligator.
No, I've heard that one. See you later, alligator. But I've never heard, alligators. You see later, and crocodiles. You see.
No, dude. The way it goes is see you later, alligator, and then the other person will go in a while, crocodile.
I've never heard that second part, so there you go.
Oh, okay. Because you probably dip up before the person.
Yeah, usually people are like, see you later, alligator, and I'm like, yeah, okay, bye. Yeah. So. G.I. Joe, though, like Mark is saying, wait until another movie comes. Here's the thing, though. Face, you're more on the newer run, right? Or have you been following, well, not following, but have you picked up, like, older issues of G.I. Joe?
I mean, I have a lot of older issues of G.I. Joe.
Yeah. See, so, like, for me, I followed more of the older G.I. Joes, not necessarily the newer stuff. So when it comes to the newer stuff, I don't really know. But I do know that like some of the older ones are getting super hot right now. We've talked about it for multiple weeks, maybe a month or two now with, Hasbro, Transformers, G.I. Joe. It's all getting crazy. So, yeah, make sure you guys are getting your G.I. Joe and Transformers before because I don't want to like get Star Wars people like pissed off or, like be like, Newbie, what are you talking about? But I really do think that there's going to be a point where the Transformers and the G.I. Joe stuff is going to get to a point like where we are with Star Wars stuff. I really do.
That's wishful thinking to get quite that big, but I could definitely get.
Remember, Hasbro is spending billions, and for those of you keeping score at home, billions is spelled with a B. That's a lot of money. So who knows, right? It is what it is. All right, Lock and Key, Sandman, Hell and Gone, number 1. Seems like we're putting all these characters together here.
Number 1.
Yeah, another number 1. Yeah, you're right, Hyper. Like, there's a lot of number 1s this week.
This is a crossover series between DC and IDW.
I'll be honest. My only exposure to Lock and Key was the Netflix series. I haven't actually read the comics, but I'm told that the Netflix series is not exactly accurate to the comics. So
Well, the comics are probably better. I actually haven't seen the Netflix series. The comics are pretty good. Both properties are fantastic, and seeing them together should be really interesting. They fit really well together. So, if Newbie picks the wrong fucking cover tonight, he's fired.
I don't have a cosplay one this week. I don't have a cosplay one. I do not. So stay tuned for that. You guys already know Newbie's Dynamite Pick of the Week is brought to you by Brazzers.com. So make sure you guys tune in. I should really stop saying that because like I don't want everybody to be like, oh, maybe Newbie sponsored by Brazzers or something.
If my employers are watching this, I'm not sponsored by Brazzers. That's all Newbie's deal. I have nothing to do with this.
That'd be crazy. What are you sponsored from? Brazzers. What do you do? I talk comics. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So just really quickly, you guys picking this one up?
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm not.
No? Okay. All right. We're going to skip the My Little Pony. Nothing against it. I know people collect it. I've seen people flip and make some money off the crossovers with Transformers and My Little Pony. But again, we're on issue number 96 of My Little Pony. So it's not like, if whatever, like I'm not afraid to say I pick up certain things. Everyone's got different tastes. It's just not something that I know that us three talk about. If you guys have any questions about it or want any information, I mean, we'll be glad to talk about it. Just, DM us. But, yeah, we can just kind of skip through it.
Wait, about what? My Little Pony? I don't have no fucking information on unless the Transformers are involved.
Yeah, I just said that. I literally
Didn't you just say DM us for information on My Little Pony? Like, DM you, bro. You can help with that. I got nothing.
Did he say brass? My goal is for Newbie to drop a dynamite like on one of my posts. All right, I will. All right. All right, Hyper. Let's hear it, man.
Hold up. Before we get into this one, I actually have a dynamite pick this week. So if you pick the wrong fucking book, Newbie.
But okay,
just don't pick the wrong one.
Face, keep in mind, your criteria is actually based on probably content, maybe. Newbie's criteria is based on the cover.
It's not at all. It's not at all based on content. It's based on the cover.
All right.
All right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
the floor is yours on this one, man. This is all you.
Listen, I think is this the finale? Can you just scroll up?
Is the finale.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I mean, it's wrapping up the second volume of Jenica. If you're a Turtlehead, I mean, you know that I'll be picking it up, and also the 1 in 10 that comes with this. I've been picking up pretty much all the ratios for the Jenica from Volume 1 and Volume 2. So this just goes deeper into her origin, and stuff that you don't really get to see much in the ongoing series, because they're dealing more with the team stuff, and because she's more of one of the newer members, this is probably like a series that you might want to get into, especially if you believe that Jenica will play a bigger part, which I think she will. I think, when she first popped up, there was a lot of hype around her, and then it kind of fizzled. It did kind of fizzle. Like you don't hear her mentioned as much as, like, let's say Lita and some of the other newer members. But I have a feeling that her day will come back in the sun, and those of you that are holding on to those Jenica books, I think those will come back up again. So yeah. Not a big fan of the 1 in 10 though, but I'm picking up the 1 in 10s like just to be consistent. So
yeah, might as well.
Jenica's solid,
guy, right? So why not?
Yeah, she's solid. I don't think she's going anywhere anytime soon. Like
no,
they're not to her or anything. So,
but I do agree with her.
I mean, Venus.
I'm not a Turtles guy myself, but like, it's not the strongest cover. It's not the strongest 1 in 10. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems like it seems like they're trying to experiment with new artists for this series, because it's like these 1 in 10s get a bit too abstract for my liking. Sometimes it's okay to kind of stick with the tried and true. You don't have to
Absolutely.
I mean, teach their own.
Yeah.
All right. We just had a book that Hyper was the master at. Now we're going to go to a book that I know Face is the master of, but we've got Usagi aka Jimbo. Yo, Jimbo. What is going on here, Face?
I mean, again, it's pretty much it's one of those things that you're probably not picking it up unless you're on a series, but and that's just pretty much par for the course with Usagi. But the ratio for it is pretty fire this week, so
it's not allowing me to get the ratio, so I won't be able to show.
Something.
Yeah, because I actually picked up the 1 in my store is ordering the 1 in 10 because it's a pretty hot cover. And it's too bad that Previews isn't showing it. Maybe I'll try to find it and I'll try to.
Yeah, what I'll do is when we go do our DC stuff, I'll look into it and then we can check it out there.
I'll send it to your IG if I find it before then.
All right, no worries, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Face. I mean, yeah, you hit it on the nail. Unless you're following this story arc and this series, I mean, you're not really picking them up.
Yeah, I mean, but Usagi is a great read, and if you're not following it, I mean, it's definitely worth picking up. So.
Yeah. All right. So we will come back to Marvel. We're gonna go straight. We're gonna come back to Dynamite. Don't worry, Tim. Don't worry, chat. But we're gonna go to Boom, and where we have Mighty Morphin number 6. This is one of those connecting covers. Hyper, you're picking these up, right? Because you love the connecting.
Yeah, I mean, connecting in a sense that it's not like a big connecting, it's just that this connects to issue 6 of Power Rangers. So it's not like a 4-issue connecting. It's just that every issue, so like the sixth issue of Mighty Morphin connects with the 6th issue of Power Rangers. That's the only reason it connects. But yeah, I'm picking these up mainly because I do want to give Power Rangers a chance. And also I am picking up for the Peach Momoko 1 in 25s, which I believe is on this week's Mighty Morphin. And I think it's the Blue Ranger.
It's green.
No. The Peach Momoko 1 in 25 is the Blue Ranger, not the blank.
Oh.
I believe it's a blue. You might have to actually go to 80 instead of 78 because I know there's like a 1 in 15 and a 1 in 25.
This is the 1 in 10?
Yeah, put 81 because you'll skip put 81 and then I think it'll be the one.
I think it's just 10 and 25.
Yeah, no, this is it right here. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
What was the one from last week? Wasn't it the Black Ranger?
No, it was the Goni Montez. It's a different because you know how sometimes Peach does the 1 in 25 and then Goni Montez does the other 1 in 25. The last Peach Momoko was the Black Ranger, which my shop didn't put enough orders in to get that ratio. So anyone in the chat, if you guys know a shop that's selling that 1 in 25 of the Black Ranger, hit me up because I am actually looking for that to complete my set.
Yeah. And speaking of hitting up, make sure you guys go hit up Freaky Louie. Dude, the guy's videos always make me laugh. One of the nicest guys in the community. Like, genuinely one of the nicest guys. So make sure you guys go check out his content. He's funny as hell. He's got books. Go check him out. He's a solid dude.
For sure.
Oh, wait. Dr. Lovebox is saying you can find them on Boom's website, too.
You can, but it's almost like that's kind of like my last resort because it's like double ratio. It's asking for 50 USD for a 1 in 25.
50.
So, and plus, Boom is not that cheap when they're shipping to Canada either. I think it's like 20 or $30 just to ship to Canada. So $80 for a 1 in 25 USD. It's
Well, if you're not following the connecting covers, I do know a few people who are collecting these colored ones. So this week we got the green. So far, I believe we have yellow, blue, black, green, red. I think
all of them now.
Oh, is it? Okay. I wasn't, because I don't remember seeing the yellow ones. I thought maybe the yellow one.
Yellow one came. I actually saw the yellow one in the dollar bin. That's how I know.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wow. All right. And then finishing off Boom, we've got Proctor Valley Road number 2. I mean,
I mean, I picked up the first one. I'm probably not gonna stay on the series just because I pull my pull list as it is. But
what's interesting about this series is in the Team Nerd Herd podcast that they did with Ross Ritchie, they did say they have plans with this series, Proctor Valley. So for that reason, I'm just saying maybe it's something to be on the lookout for.
It's only 4 issues too.
Yeah, but it could be one of
Right.
those things where there could be a volume 2. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And Newbie, I just sent you the picture of the 1 in 10 on your.
I'm just getting it set up here. Just give me 1 second. Dun, 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 dun. So this is it right here, folks. This is the Usagi Yojimbo 1 in 10 there, right there. So yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's not something I would pick. But,
are you able to click? Oh, wait, see if you can click on it just to see if we can get a bigger image. Yeah.
There you go. This is what's going to happen. This is going to be hot for a few days because all of the ones that have come out have made the top 10 lists on everything. So that's where I see this cover going. You know me, I go with the numbers. I go with history. That's what history has taught us in the last couple of weeks. When this issue happens, the 1 in 10 is just up there. It's it's in the top 10s. Everybody wants it. So.
And keep in mind, this is not a series that a lot of shops are ordering in high amounts. So that 1 in 10 is going to be a tough find, even though it's a low ratio.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, guys. So you know what that means. Before we get into Marvel, we go into a segment brought to you by Brazzers.com.
You gotta stop shouting their name out. You're just giving them free press at this point.
Right?
Hooters Canada. All right, so
Wow.
where's Tim? Is Tim in here? Tim, before we go to Marvel, we're gonna do Dynamite pick of the week. So Newbie's Dynamite pick of the week. Here we go. Face, which one's yours? Let me do yours first.
No. I want to see which one you picked before.
He's gonna put you on the spot.
All right, so mine is. Oh, I think I passed it already. Yeah,
that's disappointing.
Yep.
No, wait, you might be all right.
I got it right here. This is my.
That's it? Oh, no. That's not it.
That's it right there. That's my Dynamite pick of the week.
I mean,
it's a nice cover.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover, for sure. All right, go back out.
Hooters? Where?
Wait, that's $50? What is that, like a ratio or something?
Yeah, it's
No.
probably one of the limited covers. The
You
version.
know how this stuff goes, man. You know how it is. This stuff is $50. It's crazy.
It's a limited edition. They don't.
Bro.
They like to see the number, though.
Let's see, oh, it must have got pushed back.
Oh,
Sounds made up, Face. I think
Wow.
you got
That sucks.
Yeah.
So Face, now that it got pushed back, does that mean you and Newbie are in line with this pick?
Yeah, I guess we can be in line now. Damn, that sucks. I was looking forward to that. Oh, well.
Well, there you go.
Reno's-
There you
Reno's,
have it.
I'm waiting for that cosplay. No, I did cosplay like 2 weeks in a row. So I'd buy that for $1, not anymore. Yeah, I don't think so. I love Dalia. I've got her for that. Oh my God, show some. Tim is always wanting. All right, let's go on to Marvel before we quickly go into DC, go into comic news, and then comic spec, guys. So we've got Amazing Spider-Man. Excuse me. Amazing Spider-Man 61 second print. The new costume, right? That's all the buzz and yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
I got nothing to say really. I mean, I think I said my piece about ASM last week. I don't want to keep. I don't want to keep bringing negativity on this show. I mean, look. Credit where credit's due. I have been told by some people that have stuck around for the series that it is getting better.
Yeah,
that's what I've been told.
I've heard that.
I dropped the series because they kind of lost my trust. So, yeah. My thoughts exactly.
The problem is it's not. The problem is not necessarily that it's bad storytelling or anything. It's just that you don't actually get any resolutions to any stories, and
that's my point.
That ultimately is the problem.
Like I made this comparison, I think, Newbie, when I was on your chat before I actually came onto your team, that if I was reading this issue, and let's say I got into a coma after I read issue 1, and then I woke up from my coma, and then I picked up issue 50, I wouldn't have really missed much.
You wouldn't have missed fucking anything, really.
No. Just you would have saved money on in your wallet. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Suit chain? No, they're not. But here's the thing. Like,
And it's probably temporary.
yeah, it's I don't know, man. So, a lot of people like to make things out to be bigger than they are, right? I mean, look at all the changes throughout, right? Even when different characters take on those mantles for a while, like Daredevil, 25 comes to mind. I remember being told that's a retirement book. Don't get me started. So,
well, at least with Daredevil,
Who the hell
stories
told
at
you
least,
that?
but Daredevil's at least the story is decent. So I mean, I won't knock Daredevil on that front. I mean, whether people choose to believe what the future of the suit, that's
Yeah, and let's be real. Do you honestly think that they would change one, if you look at the stats, Spider-Man is the top superhero of all time. Do you honestly think that they're going to just keep this suit and change it from the iconic red and blue?
No. I mean,
a black suit yet. Let's be real here.
No. I think they went on record to say that this was a temporary suit just for the Kingpin storyline. I think they actually did mention that. So all the more reason why I'm wondering why people are going hard on the suit.
Yeah, Marvel did come out and basically put out that it's only temporary.
Yeah. Something that I know is temporary. America Chavez, #1, second printing. This is the one that I was pretty high on, the #1.
I found, well, this one just won by default because the other covers were just not that great.
Weren't you the one that argued that, or was that Face?
No, that was me.
Okay, Face. Okay, because I remember one guy was always arguing wait a minute, no.
I wasn't a fan of the other covers.
Okay, Dan, Spider-Man road jersey. That's actually, yeah.
What, hello? Okay, Newbie just here. No, because you kind of cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. I said Dan. Dan's comment really was kind of funny. The Spider-Man road jersey. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people knew about So here's the thing with this one. I'm not saying that these were $1,000 books. Even when I mentioned to get this one, it's just I was looking at how things work in our community, right? As soon as there's a character, anything cover related or anything like that seems to blow up. So that's kind of why I was saying, hey, when this book came out, I think a month ago, maybe grab it. Maybe grab a copy. I didn't say stack it or anything. I think the people who really got that book were expecting something, so maybe they weren't jumping on this one. I could totally see this one being kind of under the radar, low print run. That's something that a lot of people in this community, it means a lot to them, because you always hear people say that, oh, it's a low print run or, whatever. So for those reasons, I think that this one could be a sleeper down the road when, America Chavez is kind of in our face, kind of relevant, more so than it is now, right? So,
I mean, her first appearance. Sorry, Newbie, what were you saying?
Oh, that was it. That was my piece.
Okay, now I was just gonna say that we do know her first appearance is coming to the second Doctor Strange movie.
Oh wait, yeah, guys, let's make fun of him. He said third. Oh, there's only one movie so far. Oh my god.
Really,
That one's a stretch.
Really, Newbie?
Might be reaching with that one.
I try, man. I gotta try. They gave, yeah. That's it. That's really all the information that I kind of want to give out. I don't think this one might be something that a lot of people really pulled. So just be on the lookout for it, especially if you're kind of big on the character, or you are specking on or anything like that. Just look at the history of what's going on and what happens when a character is very relevant and in our face. I do think that she's going to be around for a long time, so you never know.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Black Cat #5. I'm not the biggest Black Cat fan, so.
I mean, I've actually been liking the run.
Well, you didn't sell me. You didn't convince me there, but.
No, I was just saying that I like it so far. I was gonna let Hyper go ahead if he got anything. So.
No. I was just gonna say I think the last issues 1 in 25 did pretty well in the secondary, the Adam Hughes cover.
Yeah, the Adam Hughes cover is going pretty
Yeah,
well.
I don't know. Is there 1 in 25 for this one, Newbie? That
Let me check, sir.
I think there is, but it's not Hughes this time, I believe.
No, I think they usually change the check.
Oh, keep going. That's
Okay.
not
Oh,
it.
sorry. That's just the regular
Yeah,
Heroes
no,
report.
that's the nothing that I
Right.
see here, fellas.
Unless
Yeah.
it's just not shown on previews, but
What do we got
Yeah,
here?
no, Black Cat's been pretty fun. It's been tying in with King in Black for the last issue or two. She's been taking on some
yeah,
new powers and everything like that, but it's been pretty interesting read so far.
but the whole King in Black stuff is done right with Black Cat. Because they normally put
believe
that King in
so.
Black label at the corner when it's
Yeah, I think they
Man,
did
you
put
are
it on
right.
most of them. I don't know if they put it on all of them, but
okay.
Yeah, I will say this on Black Cat, not the current run, obviously, but the ASM 194.
Yeah.
Dean is absolutely right. Like if you look, like I did a video about her book back in November where I was like, guys, pick it up now. It is dead in the water. Like in the sense that like you can get a very high grade for like $200 and that's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, go look at what they're selling for right now, and I get it. Oh well, Newbie, like some people, it didn't sell for that. Yeah, but like at the same time, if a book is only consistently selling for $400, well, guess what? That's literally what it's going to do. But this one is trending upwards. Rumors, obviously, about her showing up in the Sony project of Morbius, right? Possibly showing up in the next Spider-Man. Who knows? But this is definitely a character I definitely see. And yeah, it's going up rapidly out of nowhere. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I do feel that this character's first appearance is heavily undervalued.
Yeah, huge. All right, Children of the Atom, #1, second print. Are you surprised? No. But here we have it.
And this might be something to kind of look into just because I don't want to compare it to Strange Academy, but it's almost like it's kind of like this similar thing where there's like a lot of new younger generation X characters that are introduced. So there's a lot of first appearances in issue 1, and this is the second print. So this might be one of those things that maybe you might want to grab and just stash away.
yeah, I think. I mean, aside from the multiple different first appearances that you would get in the first issue, I think this is actually different cover art than the first issue. So
It is, yeah.
Yeah, which is nice. I like when they do the reprints and at least give us a new cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the American Chavez.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the American Chavez cover is cool.
One.
The American Chavez is cool because you're getting that different color, but it's the same.
It's
It's the same cover. So yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, speaking about the retirement book, we got Daredevil 29. So if you retired 4 issues earlier, you're probably not picking this up. You're too busy on a private island or something. But we got Daredevil 29. She's still rocking it. She's still the Daredevil. I'm not. I Hyper. You're one of the few that I know are still on the run. So.
No, dude, I can't be the only one. I'm sure there's a lot of people.
I'm on the run.
I mean, yeah, I think people are picking this. People that have been picking picking this up has been for the story, not so much for the spec. The spec stuff came later on just because of that Daredevil suit. The Elektra suit. But prior to that, the story was already catching some heat just based on the story itself, which I enjoyed. So, yeah, man, this is still on my pull. This is one of the few Marvel titles that been consistently, great so far. So yeah, I'm still continuing to pick this up. Suit or no suit.
Dr. Lovefox is saying, keep a lookout on Daredevil. The character Alice might become a big deal.
Yeah, the Darsky's been killing it with this series. So if you've been on the run, I imagine you're staying on it. It hasn't gotten bad or anything like that. So
yeah,
if you're not on it,
yeah,
it's definitely worth picking up.
It's only problematic if you're on this just for a spec for a spec point of view
Yeah.
because
Right.
that whole suit thing, I even from the jump, I was never too confident about that suit to begin with. So
Same. All right. Moving on, we've got. Oh man, I can't believe this, but we
Rail
got
time.
Dark Hawk, Heart of a Hawk, #1. Would this be the first solo? No, this isn't the first solo series.
of Darkhawk, no,
No,
dude.
no, I stopped myself because I was like, wait a minute, no, it's
Bro,
not.
you don't own the Grail that is Darkhawk #1?
No, God, no.
Well, no wonder you lost your fucking championship.
Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, we got
Ouch.
Dark Hawk #1. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People are probably going to pick this up just to add it to all that other Dark Hawk stuff, right? I mean, that's what I would assume.
I'm gonna pick it up because I don't know. I mean, they're bringing back Darkhawk. Fuck it, I'll check it out. Why not?
And and this is a one shot. It's not an ongoing. It seems to be a celebration.
Oh,
issue.
is it?
Yeah, celebrating the
better.
30 years.
Oh, so they're just fucking re-upping the license.
Celebrate the 30th anniversary of the 90s hottest hero. Okay, well, I guess.
Well, that's absolutely a true statement, of course.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He's definitely bigger than Deadpool or
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, we're going to move on. So we got Fantastic Four, #30. I mean, I like Fantastic Four. It's not the greatest cover. But then again, I'm not really a fan of the
variant, isn't
it? Dude, that's a variant. It's the one to your right.
Up.
Up. Okay, that's the one. Yeah. Wait. I think you just wait. I can't even see your cursor. It's the one right next to the one that you just clicked. Yes, that's the right. Yeah, this is a King in Black tie-in though, and I think it wraps up the tie-in for the Fantastic Four King in Black.
Yeah,
which should sell 700,000 copies of that cover A alone.
Yeah, and the Fantastic Four was not really relevant to King in Black at all for the most part.
As is most of the tie-ins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a quick one. All right. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy #13.
This one has potential.
This is where the changes start.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're doing the change. There's like a new roster coming or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Possible
I guess
appearances, right?
Well, I think they're doing like 3 covers in a row that are similar to this with like 3 different groupings of characters that are going to be on the team now.
I saw that, yeah. And it is a $4.99.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it is a $4.99 cover, so it is. It's gonna be a thicker book.
Yeah, that's probably true. I think that they said that the big reveal, though, I think on the 3rd cover is Dr. Doom joins the team or some shit.
Did you see this Momoko ratio that they're talking about, Face?
No, I'm looking for it. Right here.
I mean,
okay. So here's the thing. It just almost looks the same, like to other stuff.
She's done better.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Why is Groot trying to seduce the reader? Like I don't get it. Like it almost looks like he got his eye, like his eyes ready or something. Like I don't know. It's just Rocket Raccoon looks weird as hell too.
Seduce the reader is what you took away from that cover.
I'm just saying it's
okay. No, I'm not going to question anything about that. I don't want any more information. Moving on.
I'm just not a fan of how Rocket Raccoon pretty much almost blends into Groot in this image.
Yeah, and he looks weird. Like
it's
like Groot beating him.
It's okay.
I mean, at least he's polite. He doesn't have shoes on while he's sitting on Groot, I guess. So, like,
I'm trying to be polite, so I'll say it's okay.
So, hey, hey, Peach, you either like it, you love it, or you hate it, or you love it or you hate it.
Yeah, because look, I have several Peach covers in my collection, which I actually do like. So for me, it's definitely a hit or miss with her art.
Yeah.
For sure. I agree.
All right. Iron Fist, Heart of Dragon, number 4, almost near the end. Not the biggest Iron Fist fan. I think Flash, Iron Fist, and Wonder Woman. I don't own any book in my collection of any of them. So.
No, a lot of these Marvel minis, I think I said this right before, that I kind of skip a lot of the Marvel minis just because I kind of find that they tend to be more or less inconsequential, I find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a big deal. I'll still pick it up for $50, but I doubt it. It's an Iron Fist book, so like, let's be real.
Yeah, I've actually been picking this one up, and it's been a pretty good read, but it hasn't been anything, there's, like you said, it's been fairly inconsequential.
Yeah. Moving on to basically the greatest hero of all time. I really like this cover.
Batman.
I really like this cover.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when did Batman come to Marvel?
We got Iron Man. Yeah. I mean, this is just a straight cover buy for me. The fact that it's Iron Man, my guy, it's even more. So, yeah.
Oh, you mean what Batman would do if he couldn't actually fight? Get a metal suit.
Yeah, that's fair. What's up? Hey, what's up, Nigel? Yeah, so I'm probably going to grab this one. I mean, is this a flippable book? Like, if you guys are keeping score at home, I don't think so. There's nothing to it. This is just a straight cover buy for me.
Well,
I'm a fan, so.
Well, also,
it is a dope cover.
It's a dope cover, but you have to keep in mind, there's plenty of Alex Ross Iron Man covers out there. So this isn't exactly a unique concept. So for that reason, I don't think it's going to be one of those flippable books. Just because, like I said,
I think he's been doing the whole run of Iron Man for the most part.
Yeah, but even prior to that, he's also done several other Iron Man covers, whether it's in the Marvel series or he did a few ratios also in the previous Iron Man. So it's almost like when you see Gabriel Delato do a Spider-Man cover. It's, we've seen
Alex
that
Ross likes to do the shiny characters.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into, I think this one, because didn't this kind of blow up? Not blow up in a crate, in the range of for $100 or anything like that, but the non-stop Spider-Man. You guys want to talk about King in Black?
You don't know. 5? You don't think that everybody is picking up King in Black Namor 5? Oh my god, bro! You must not have been reading this series.
Face, you're being sarcastic again, right?
Well, non-stop Spider-Man number 2 here. Sure. I really like this cover.
And it's a hot artist.
So I think that this could be some. I'm not saying it's $100 book, but I'm just saying this could gain some traction just based on that cover. I really like this cover.
This cover does. It did stick out to me when I was looking through previews. He did a Black Widow 1 in 25 before, which I'm surprised actually didn't sell for more than it did. It's still around ratio because he has a very manga kind of art style to him.
Yeah, you do.
So, and I do like that whole dynamic pose with Spider-Man and that whole webs shooting perspective. So, it's it might be a decent cover buy, but story itself, I didn't read it.
I haven't either.
I know issue 1 kind of got a. Sorry.
I was gonna say I got this Amazing Spider-Man 55 vibe to this. I don't know why.
In terms
I could
of what?
totally see them do just second, third, fourth prints of this, but this one be one that maybe people sleep on. I don't know. I just think it's a really cool cover.
Yeah, I mean,
it is. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just something that I've never really, because we've seen so many Spider-Man covers, throughout his run from different artists. This one, the fact that this still stuck out to me, it just kind of saying something. But yeah, what were you saying, Face?
Yeah, it's a cool cover. I'll definitely pick it up. I don't know if we'll get a whole lot of reprints just because of the series that it's on.
Mm-hmm.
Out the gate. Okay, let's see if I can get the 1 in 100. Does it show?
Issue one kind of got a bit of buzz because that's the Virgin variant of the same cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, it doesn't show. Damn.
no. Dude, it did show. Issue 1 in 100 was the Virgin variant of that cover. This
Yeah.
is the trade dress, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's basically the 1 in 100. So
Oh,
it's the
okay.
same cover, it's just without the writing.
Gotcha.
Right.
Man, I don't know. When I saw this was one of the ones that I was like, you know what? Could be something. I don't know. I like it. I really do. So if it's
Personally,
there, I'm gonna put it up, but
listen, personally, if I had to choose between a 1 in 100 and something that I could buy at cover price, I could live with the writing on the cover.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm not going to justify paying like $95 more for just because
no,
they
100%,
removed it.
100%.
But listen, some people like it just because that 1 in 100, there's not going to be that many out there. So for that reason, people might want to gravitate towards the 1 in 100. So it could gain some value in that regard. But if you're buying it just for your collection, I'm just going to stick with the $4.99 price.
Yeah. Something that I don't know. I'd like to get your feedback on this stuff, guys. But Spider-Man Spider's Shadow #1.
Oh, and it's written by Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah. So I figured you would say that. I like this cover, but I really like this cover a lot. That is a
Wait,
dope.
Newbie, you kind of froze out.
I was gonna say this is a dope cover to me. Like I really like this cover.
Yeah. The Ron Lim one, yeah. Man, see, just based on the art, the writer, I do want to pick this up, but I'm trying so hard to kind of, be narrow in my pull. So this might be something that I might read, like either in trade or digitally. Not because I don't like the concept of the story, just just kind of trying to narrow it down.
Yeah, and like Ultra saying, Lim over the cover A. Like I like the cover A, but like I'm just such a fan of Venom that like this. I don't know. This one kind of really sticks out to me. And I'll probably get some people being like, "What? What are you talking about?" But I feel like if they would have just not had Spider-Man on it and it just would have been a Venom one, I think that they probably would have had like a dope cover, like like even more so, but like with the tongue coming down, just I don't know. It just looks like a dope Venom cover to me.
No, I'm not gonna disagree with you. This cover definitely stuck out to me as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the series. Just because it's written by Zdarsky. I like the A cover. I like the Lim cover. What's the B cover look like?
The B cover looks like we didn't really show any respect to the B cover, so we got a white cover here, right here. So it looks like the symbiote's got the Spider-Man mask. It's not a bad,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably just
I don't really hate it.
Yeah. Face, let's be real. You're probably going to get all three, right?
Well, no. If anything, I'll probably pick up the Lim cover. I don't think I'm going to pick that one up.
No. Yeah. You know what? If that C cover, if that Lim cover is there, I'll pick it up. I would probably go cover A, cover that variant, and then that white one. I mean, is probably I'm not going to say the worst out of the three, but it's probably not the one that I would go to first, right? So. All right, let's get into some fuego here. Star Wars Bounty Hunters #11.
I love that cover.
Yeah, it's got that like not 3D look, but it's got like something there, right? Like it just looks like it pops.
For sure. The only problem with this is like this is the issue that's right before the War of the Bounty Hunters event that's going to cross over through all of the Star Wars titles. And even though it's in Bounty Hunters, I mean, it might be there might be a little bit of lead into it, but it could also just be an entirely like filler issue with the way that they write Star Wars. So who knows?
Yeah. You guys know I love the white covers. Just if I had to pick, right? Because like I'm with Hyper, you know, like I've been cutting back a lot in some of the stuff I pulled just simply because I'm trying to go after certain grails, right? But not to say I didn't like it. It's just if I had to choose, you know, the rule is always, you know, grab cover A, and then if I had to pick between B and that other variant, it's probably going to be that Venom one, man. I'm just too much of a Venom fan.
No. Here's the thing, though. I have to make a correction. If they said that Chip Zdarsky was doing the ASM ongoing, I probably would be back on ASM. But the fact that it's a miniseries, I'm probably just going to wait for the trade or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be great to have Chip Zdarsky on ASM.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. P. Keel, what's going on, man? In the house, back from Houston.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, man. Hope you're doing I hope you're doing good. So yeah. All right, so we got Thor number 14 here, the finale of Prey and the fight of Thor's life. Whew. Okay, well then.
Well, it seems intense.
Yeah, how many copies are you guys grabbing? Because yeah.
I generally grab doubles of Thor. Generally, I'll usually grab the cover A, and if there's a variant, I'll grab the variant as well. Unless it's like a themed variant, like one of those Heroes Reborn, I'm skipping that. But generally, I usually go for the variant and the regular of Thor for Thor.
See, the thing about this is it's just the way that Donny Cates fucking writes. Like this arc for Thor has almost felt like it's almost kind of felt like a filler arc. Like he's just kind of been sort of phoning it in on Thor while he's concentrating on Venom, and now that he's coming off of Venom and I guess just gonna mostly be writing Thor, at least for the time being.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the next arc's gonna pick up more than this last one, but at the same time, he usually does like to end his story arcs with some kind of a twist or something that builds on the next one. So if there's going to be anything to come out of it, it'll probably show up in this issue. So
yeah, because if you remember the whole Black Winter storyline, we know how that ended, right? So that kind of left things kind of up in the air. So this whole Donald Blake, yeah.
Something at the end of this storyline that's gonna fucking lead into something else down the road. You know, that's just
yeah.
Empire Comics is saying 100% agree with Face about Cates on Thor. Shit, that's Cates on everything lately.
But that's the thing with Cates, like how some people, for a certain series, some people just want to grab a trade volume just to read a story arc. With Cates, I kind of find like if you pick up one of his trade volumes, it's almost like you have no choice but to read the other volumes because you'll never get a resolution.
Yeah,
really. Even like in the Venom runs, I've noticed.
Man, I got to be honest with you. I'm still thinking that like, and Hyper, because you're always like, man, Black Winter's coming and da-da-da. If he pulls some crazy bullshit like Black Winter ends up being Rhino or like the Spirit of Shocker or something,
no.
I don't think you're gonna be seeing that.
Like I swear, oh, dude, like I just you don't know, right? And that's the thing that pisses me off because like if it turns out to be like, hey, Black Winter is Rhino, oh man.
Well, no, because Black Winter doesn't have an identity like that. Black Winter is like he's even higher on the cosmic hierarchy than Galactus.
Listen,
he's almost an entity.
Listen, what Donny Cates has done so far, nothing is out of the realm. Nothing is out of the possibility. He probably wears Adidas because Adidas
it wouldn't be out of
motto is what? Impossible is nothing. So you never.
I mean, I guess it's possible, but it wouldn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So
doesn't have to.
That would just be but that just seems like an ultimate troll job if he was to take the route that you think that he might take.
Yeah, I don't think you got to split that one.
I've just been too disappointed by him, so that's why. Like I don't know.
But like Ultra was saying though, that we got that bit with Thanos, holding Mjolnir with the black glove and the Infinity Gems, and then we haven't revisited that shit yet, and everybody's been waiting on it. And like, yeah, it really does. It feels like he phoned in a whole fucking arc based on the premise that everybody's waiting for that to show up. I mean, we bought it, but whatever.
Yeah, we did buy it. Okay.
Yeah, I literally bought it. I bought literally several copies.
Yeah, we know you did.
I mean, I did too. I'm not gonna lie, and it wasn't a horrible arc or anything. It's just compared to what he's given us what he gave us in the first arc, it was not at all on the same level.
No. It's
right. Finishing off Marvel, here we go. We got Wolverine number 11. Face, I know you're on this. I'm not on this at all, so I got like zero to say on this.
Yeah, man, I've actually been liking the Wolverine run. It's not been anything like, too substantial at this point, but it has been a good read, and it feels like it is going somewhere. Just not exactly sure where it's all leading yet.
Yeah, I've been reading the Wolverine run for the most part, and yeah, this is actually probably one of my favorite X titles, and this is almost like one of those atypical comic books like scenarios that like someone would just vision, like, hey, how about we have Wolverine fighting a bunch of vampires? Like that's pretty much like the major stuff that's been going on, and Omega Red's also playing a key role in the run because he seems to be involved with them in some sort. But yeah, it's Ben Percy is doing a good job writing the series. He's the same guy that's also doing X-Force, another one of my other favorite X titles. So I'll still be pulling this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna get off of it anytime soon. I don't think, it's Wolverine, so it's worth picking up. But
speaking of Wolverine, Hulk 181 is basically coming off what's it called? Cover Price's top 10 list pretty soon, which is surprising. I'm kind of shocked. I don't know.
That doesn't mean the price is coming down, though.
No, I know, but just the fact that it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's, yeah. I'm not worried about the price, but yeah, just, that's the only Wolverine thing or bit of information I've got. But yeah, surprised. That's all. It's crazy how like for the past like 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, it was like, the book, and then all of a sudden now it's like kind of
no, but you know what? Something's got to give. I even said like I wasn't gonna. I never said that the book would crash, but I always figured that the momentum can't keep going for the foreseeable future. At some point, there's going to be like a plateau or a stall, and there might be a dip. So nothing to be alarmed at. I think that's just the market playing the way it normally does.
Yeah, I mean that just really means that it hasn't had as many sales. That's really all.
Damn, heart's pounding. Just landed a major Marvel key, dude. My heart's pounding. Well, you know what? Here's the thing though, and Hyper, because we were talking about it, and I think I sent it in our group chat. But a 7.5 Hulk 181 just sold on eBay for $9,800. So
that's insane.
That's crazy because I literally paid nothing close to that for mine. So I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Actually, yeah, it's crazy, but unfortunately, it's one of those characters that is super popular, super iconic, and once it hits, I mean, think about this: like no casting, no nothing. Like we're literally just going based on, hey, X-Men is coming. That's it. And look at where the prices are. Can you imagine when they say, hey, you know what? We got a director that's making an X-Men movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, right now,
we just casted Newbie as Wolverine. Book's gonna explode. You know what I mean?
Dude, if you got cast as Wolverine, that's the best day of my life because that means that book's gonna be pretty attainable for me at that point.
I only said that because the other day when I posted like our promo for our show, or for Tony's show, sorry, I was like, hey guys, it's Newbie, come watch us on Tony Sanders, Mel from Drunken Chat. Big shout outs to Mel. I love the guy. Comic family, but he commented, dude, you look like Wolverine's nephew. And like when I watched the video, like it was because like I was doing it kind of close, right? So like, my beard is like, the thing. And I was like, I guess you could, my hair's a mess. So I get it, but yeah. So
But again,
The real problem
Mel
with casting Newbie. Sorry, go ahead, Hyper.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mel does come from the show called Drunken Chat Son. So just saying.
So, the real problem with casting Newbie as a Wolverine, though, is you're gonna have to do like fucking 46 of takes every time.
Well, yeah, yeah.
The director's gonna be so pissed off.
All right, cut. We gotta redo it. Fuck his lines up again.
All this film reel we just wasted.
Let's see here. So Dan's saying, I'll share my spec with the group. I just got a 5.5 white pages. Journey into the Mystery Annual #1. First appearance of Hercules. I recommend to the group you stock up.
It's funny.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Coming from me, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of on that track, like, yeah.
Actually, can you imagine? Yo, they could do that shit too. Disney could pull some dumb shit and bring their Hercules into the fucking Marvel universe.
Well, because I remember, was it Lords of the... Well, I think Lords of the Long Box. When they do like those, they get those scoops sometimes from Mikey Sutton and all those things that Marvel's kind of looking into for research. And there was a lot of books that was
disclaimer. Hold on, disclaimer.
What?
It's not always 100%, right?
No. It's not.
That's what happens.
Like these are books that they're looking into or researching. That doesn't mean it necessarily translates onto the screen, but just stuff that that they're looking out for. And a lot of the books that they were picking was very Hercules centric.
Listen, it's a big possibility, but here's what I say to people. Because I get it, right? Like it is, but this is the time where like experienced collectors and experienced people who are collecting, like in the sense of like not older. Like Dan, he's been collecting for a long time. I've talked to this guy. He is a great guy, but he tells me some of the books he picked up and what to pick up. He's somebody that you guys should be following and listening to. So if he's dropping that information, it's probably a good sign. But yeah, Hercules, I mean, it's been talked about for a bit, right? I mean, it's just one of those that like when you talk about it, people are like, like I always say, right? Like I always say, you bring up a book and people laugh at you. This has been a book that people laugh at you a long time because just they don't see it, right? And that's the problem. Like we kind of do this, right? And it's always interesting to get other perspectives and things like that and talk to other comic people because that's how you get different angles and different perspectives when you spec or when you're trying to see through the tea leaves, right? So just be on the lookout for that. But Dan is one of those good guys. I mean, he's got a good track record. I know some of the stuff he's talked with me, it's legit. So when he's dropping some of that stuff, I would say.
Sure. Newbie, what's the book that Dan has that he likes to hold over your head?
That's not important right now. That's not important. Not important. Newbie for Wolvie, Ultraman for X-Man.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys laugh, but if they come knocking on my door and like, hey, do you want to play Wolverine? I'll remember this because I'll get free passes and behind the scenes and all that stuff. So, all right, this is the best part of the show. Kidding.
Damn.
But before we get into the comic news and comic spec, we got to talk DC. So let's go. Let's get it going. We got Wonder Woman 771. Oh, okay.
What's the problem with that? They just have it renumbered.
No, nothing. Yeah,
well, they have, but
I
went back to it.
I got nothing on this. Like, I got nothing on any DC stuff. So,
well, this guy does. This guy probably Magic Lasso.
Yeah, Lasso. This is So,
right. You ain't even showing him the whole damn cover. I mean, it's only
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Doesn't give the dignity.
I know, right? And like Lee conveniently has the variant covers down below and everything. He could just be scrolling down for everybody to see. I mean, what kind of host we got going on here?
He's busy memorizing his Wolverine.
Busy drinking his beer, not hosting the show.
What is Wonder Woman doing with her hand to that serpent's tooth? I just checked that out.
Right.
Hello?
Let's keep it PG, guys. I mean, you know.
No, I
mean,
literally
it's
cut
just
out. I didn't hear anything.
Oh wow.
Face,
Okay.
this is all on you, man. DC is usually on you, so.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, this is it's. I don't think it's the first issue after First Aid. I think it's actually the second issue of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's not the first. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of setting up the status quo for, you know, what's going on with her and everything like that right now. So kind of almost feels like filler issues type stuff.
I gotta see who the artist is on this.
Yeah, you can't unsee that.
The artist,
So,
Paulina.
Well, wait a minute.
Bring up the B cover, man.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
Middleton.
I tried to give him a fucking hint.
Oh, dude, honestly, I thought you guys were saying "ooh" because of the fact,
What?
yeah, that Becky chick.
Nope.
But never mind.
The
Okay,
B
yeah.
cover.
No,
Sorry.
dude, it's like, come on, man. Sometimes we actually just like to talk about comics.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's Middleton, so you know,
It's not like
probably worth
Okay,
it.
okay, you kind of have my attention there. I do generally enjoy Middleton Wonder Woman covers.
Yeah, Middleton's covers always get fire, so.
Empire. The only DC title on my poll is Batman. Yeah. So well, let's get close to it. So we got Superman number 30. I got to actually earlier I said Flash, Iron Fist, Superman. I don't own any book, and Wonder Woman. I don't own any of those books in my collection. I don't have one.
I mean, I'm buying this one for sure because it's the return of Ambush Bug. And
Seriously?
fuck yeah, bro.
No, but you seriously like wait, what's the character's name? Ambush Bug?
Yeah, Ambush Bug.
What the hell? Is that like?
He's one of the worst
They
characters
just
ever.
running out of names
Great.
at DC where they're like, okay, what do we have left?
Oh, you guys
Face,
obviously buy Ambush Bug. You should definitely
This is
check him out.
this is
Ambush
sarcasm
Bug.
again, right?
Oh my god.
No, I'm serious. Ambush Bug is hilarious, bro. He's sort of a man.
Is this like the character Mr. Mind in Shazam?
No, no, bro. I guess it's a bad comparison to make, but I guess the comparison would be sort of like DC's Deadpool.
I'll be honest. Okay, clearly I'm not too hip on these DC characters. Yeah, because I'm hearing Ambush Bug for the first time. But it seems like some people in the chat know who this Ambush Bug is.
Yeah,
Well, you should know.
Read Ambush Bug's origin sometime. It's something.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's Ambush Bug is definitely out there. For sure.
Okay, I mean, you guys have me intrigued. I'll look into this Ambush Bug.
It's okay. It's called Newbie Comics for a reason. Sometimes
Keys would love Ambush Bug.
I think that's more up. That's exactly what I was thinking. Face when you were talking.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, this is where Keys would probably shine with it because like Keys. Let's look at his track record. Flubber,
Man.
King, Kite Man.
He just keeps disrespecting Duke.
Dude, I told Keys, I go, dude, you could probably buy the Flubber movie cheaper than you can the first Duke.
Well, yeah, I would hope so because Duke
Hey,
would have value.
FaZe, I'm gonna put you on the spotlight again. This is your guy right here. I will say this: it is a good cover.
Yeah, I mean, I've been loving the covers that have been on this series. I've actually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge Rorschach fan. I've not read a single issue of this series yet. I have them all, but I haven't read any. I'm saving it till I get them all, just because, man, Tom King scares the fuck out of me. So
Yeah, yeah. I think we had this discussion, right, where I kind of feel with Tom King, it's almost like it's better. You're better off reading the entire
Yeah, reading it
12
all at once usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
all right.
his stuff is just hard to take in pieces. Like a lot of times, like with the Batman Catwoman run that's going on right now, like you don't necessarily get the most effective description of what timeline you're in or anything like that. So it ends up being a lot easier to read it in not necessarily trade format, but when you can read it all at once at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just easier to digest. And you're right. Like when you have like a month in between a Tom King issue, it just feels like you're gonna be missing things that is almost important to make you make sense of the next issue.
Right. Exactly.
Tim is saying, yeah, Tim agrees with you guys. All right, we've got the Joker #2. I will say it's a cool cover, but again, it's not something
This
that I'm.
wait, newbie. This one is probably a DC title that I would be on the lookout for, just because there has been, I believe, more or less a confirmation that Bane's
character.
daughter, Bane's daughter, named Vengeance.
Yeah.
And
150 is super pricey.
well, see, the thing is, the thing about that 1 in 50 was they didn't even announce that there was going to be a 1 in 50. Basically,
It doesn't even show on here. It's not showing.
No, because what
That's
happened
because
was,
it wasn't. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say it was almost like a thank you to the retailers, that any retailer that ordered over 50 copies, like for every 50, they threw in like a surprise variant in their pull. So it's not even something that they were aware of until after orders were cut off.
Right.
And I'm seeing that book already selling on eBay for close to $200. So I have a feeling that's not a book that I'm gonna be hunting for, because I'm pretty sure that shops are going to see that price and they're probably going to jack it up to like 150, 200 day one.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'll probably just stick with the regular cover.
Worth grabbing a cover A then, just to put it away and just.
I will, because also James Tynion's writing it, right? So I'm kind of high on anything that Tynion's writing at this point. So for that reason, I was already going to be picking up this book. I just hate the fact that now DC's going into that. They're pretty much pricing most of their mainland titles by $1. Like this one's like $5.99.
God.
And that's just covering. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
But it is a card stock though, so you have that.
I mean, that's the Joker, so you know I'm on it pretty heavy.
Yeah, of course.
Like to the point where I've got every cover that's coming out for it. But you know, first issue was pretty good, so you know, seems like
there's a correction. There's a correction. $350.
Yeah,
I saw it. Well, see, I saw it selling for that price, but I didn't see anything sold at that price. I did see $350, but I was just looking at the sold
time. Check it tomorrow. Check it early Wednesday for sure. For sure. Yeah. Which is
actually, I feel like I got lucky, because as soon as they, as soon as I found out about it, I managed to grab a copy for $75.
From where? Like from your shop or from eBay?
I locked it down from a shop.
Oh wow! Okay.
All right, next book we got Batman, the Detective #1. Face, this is all you, man.
It's a new. I think it's a mini series. I believe. I don't think it's an ongoing. And actually, there's not a whole lot that I can tell you other than that it's going to be based in Europe. I think there's going to be some new appearances, and it's written by Tom Taylor, so should be good.
Mm-hmm. At least this is $3.99.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the same thing. I was looking for the price. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, while the big drawing point on it should be that it's being written by Tom Taylor. And you know, the anti-keyword art. Obviously, those first appearances are going to be pretty key, I guess, for people to probably grab.
We got Batman Urban Legends #2, another Batman story going.
Again, I think this is another like side series kind of. I don't know if it's an ongoing or a mini, but this one, it has a few different stories in it. I think there's like 3 or 4 different stories. Grifter, Outsiders. So it's more like a kind of like a Bat family book, I guess, than Batman. It seems.
Yeah, from what I understand is these stories in the book basically are supposed to lead into future stories from the Infinite Frontier line. So this is one of those.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why you're seeing a lot of part 2, because like part 1 was from issue 1. So basically, it's like a lot of mini stories, but each of those mini stories is like going to be a continual thread for the next few issues. And then that's pretty much.
You're saying the first one was terrible. Empire saying I think a Jenny Friesen has a dope Catwoman cover on it.
That's possible. I know Friesen's been doing the B covers for Catwoman, I think, for the last few issues.
Yeah. Okay, so then we've got Vampire 1976, number 7.
I'm picking this up, but I think I mentioned that I'm only going to read this until I actually finish reading the main American Vampire series, because this is almost like the conclusion to the whole saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this one I have not read yet either. I've been picking it up, same thing. Just kind of holding on to it until it gets finished and then I'll read it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I tend to save a lot of the DC miniseries just because it's easier for me to read them all at once.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm like not continuity.
Whoa. Next up, we got Challenge of the Super Sun. Excuse me. Challenge of the Super Sun number 1. I'm assuming there's first appearances in this.
Not sure if there's going to be first appearances. There may be. I think they're just kind of relaunching the Super Sun series.
Yeah.
As far as I'm, so which is just Damian and John Kent. So, but
so
it's written by
basically,
Bossy. That's a good sign.
So Damian's going to be on 2 series then. He's going to be on the Robin series and this series.
Yeah, and he may show up in Batman. I mean, who knows? So.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea. Sweet Tooth, The Return, number 6.
I actually am not on this series.
What? That's shocking.
I know, right?
I thought you were picking them up.
No, I picked up I think I picked up like first issue, and then that was pretty much it on the series. Just because I missed the first one, first miniseries, so I didn't jump on this one really the same, like I would if I had got that first miniseries.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Face on this one. I never finished not just finished. I never started the first series, so I didn't pick up the second one.
Is that an elephant?
Yes, it was.
And finally, before we get on to the comic news and comic spec, I hope the popcorn is still warm, but we've got one final DC book here. We've got the Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries. Yeah. Now, here's the thing with this one. This could be like one of those niche things. Not to say it's $1,000 book or $1 million book, but like we know how those niche things, those niche team ups and all that jazz work. Who knows? That's all I'm saying. Who knows?
Yeah. The only thing that I could see this issue that it has going for it is that I don't think a lot of shops are going to be ordering many copies of this book.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, but is it the first time we're seeing Batman teaming up with Scooby-Doo and Shaggy? I mean,
well, no, there used to be whole ass cartoons with it.
No, with Batman?
Yes.
Yeah, Batman and Scooby-Doo used to team up on cartoon all the time.
I don't remember that.
Okay, interesting.
Wow.
No, wait, but
get out.
But I'm talking about in comic form.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure if it's their first meeting in comics. I have no idea, but I'm gonna pick it up anyway. It's Batman, and it's fucking Scooby-Doo. So
Well, there, guys, you know what? There's the challenge right there to the people in the chat, or even to ourselves. Let's figure out where the first appearance of Batman and Scooby-Doo lies. You know, there it is. Boom.
Well, because keep in mind, there was another Batman crossover that happened a few years ago that people are really enjoy. It's the Batman TMNT, and I think they've already done 3 volumes of that. So you never know. I mean, I don't think I'll be picking this book up, but it's just, I don't know. If you're looking for a weird duo mix-up, it might be something to grab.
I mean, I figure I'm picking up Transformers My Little Pony. The least I can do is pick up Batman, Scooby-Doo.
God. Well, that's it for New Comic Book Day. We're done talking New Comic Book Day. So now we go on to the second part of our show, comic news. So, comic news. Do you guys want to start with anything? Do you guys have anything in mind, or do you guys just want me to go ahead?
Well, I think the big one is that $3.25 million sale for the Action Comics 8.5 CGC.
I'll be right back. Keep talking. I just got to move something real quick. Be one second.
Yeah, I saw that when it was on sale on Heritage. I was going to grab it myself, but it was only an 8.5. I figured I'd pass on it.
The guy just outbid you just at the last second, I guess.
No, I just, I didn't want to add something so low of grade to my collection. I'm looking for that 9.8.
So, dude, I'm surprised that what Action Comics is a Golden Age book, right? It's not Silver Age.
Right.
So the fact that you had something in that era, even hitting an 8.5, to me, it's kind of like,
yeah, that's crazy.
I thought that the highest grade we would ever get for an Action Comics may have been like a 7 at most. Like an 8.5
I'm not sure what the highest grade on Action 1 is, to be honest, but there might be higher than 8.5. Who knows?
Seriously? Oh, geez.
I mean, I can just imagine there was a copy out there that got, it just felt like somewhere in that perfect place where it just didn't get fucked up. You know what I mean? Like it was sitting underneath some other book or inside a book or something like that, and it was just.
It's just the whole, like, okay, so you win the book, right? I'll be, if it was me, like, I'm not sure how the arrangement is in terms of shipping the book, but I'll be probably in front of my doorstep the entire time. I'll probably take the whole week off of work to make sure that no one's gonna, like, be a porch robber or something, like, in front of my house.
You just bought that shit for $3.25 million. You can't go fucking pick it up?
Oh, well, if they gave me that option, I'll pick it up. Actually, yeah, that's actually.
Well, I don't imagine they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna send out $3.25 million fucking comic book through the mail.
You got a point.
If I could be on that,
that's true. If I could afford a 3.25 million book, I could probably afford a quick trip to whichever place it is to pick up the book myself.
Exactly. Yeah, you're going to get that for sure.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think what I read was in 2014, the original owner bought it for $2 million. So in 6 years, it went up 1.25 million. That's crazy. Whatever you collect, whether it be stocks, whatever. If somebody said, "Hey, man, you give me $2 million and you'll make $1 million, 1.25 in 6 years," I think all of us would do that. So that's kind of crazy, man.
I'm just picturing the scene like from Dark Knight, where that snitch that knows Bruce Wayne's identity, and everyone's trying to kill him, and basically, Gordon and the police have to escort him because Joker basically threatened to blow up the hospitals or something. So basically, everyone's trying to gun after him, and I'm just picturing that dude, like.
Yeah, that's the balance.
Stop killing me here. Yeah, he's saying, just for your information, my Action Comic 1 unboxing video will be released.
Well, he's probably talking about the New 52 Action Comics one. I mean,
oh, man. Dude, but you know what? If you were to post that and, like, word that, like, in your YouTube, like, you know how many people would probably...
There's a comment on Spine Ticks that actually made my night. One dude was talking about how a guy gifted him an X-Men one, like the original X-Men one, and someone in the comment wrote, "Oh, I have several X-Men ones. Unfortunately, it's from 1991."
Yeah, right.
Oh shit, yo, that's crazy. Like I've been saying, I'm waiting for my AOK of Tales of Suspense 39. Maybe one day it'll happen. Who knows? But Newbie's birthday is coming up. So oh look, Dan's comment is up. That's interesting.
Hey man, listen, you could probably afford that
Hold
Tales of Suspense with all that Wolverine money you're going to be getting for that starring role, right?
Yeah, maybe one day. Maybe one day. I just hope they keep me as Wolverine or Gambit. I don't want to be playing Cyclops or anything like that.
Fucking leap.
Sana Nation. Sana, what's going on? Good morning. If you guys don't know who Sana is, make sure you guys go check her channel out. She does a lot of episode stuff with the shows, and she's interesting. But she's one of my favorite people in the comic community. She's a Captain Marvel fan, so yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah,
Damn.
Thanks for tuning in, Sana. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Wait, why did Faye say wow?
I don't know. He's on a word count. He likes words. I don't know.
Newbie hating on Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay, that okay.
Oh, that's not a secret. All right. News. Let's get to some news. So we've got posted a little bit earlier, but we've got a Ryan Reynolds led R-rated Deadpool animated series. Is supposedly in the works or development rather in the Hulu. So I don't know what that means for Canadians because we don't have Hulu. So it'll be interesting. We don't.
There's ways of getting Hulu.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I'm saying, like for the everyday person, it's probably not something, unless you're hacking or,
No hacking. You just need you just need a VPN service and you could get Hulu.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that's how it's done.
No, I know. So yeah, so there's that going on.
Nice,
we all know how popular Deadpool is. So yeah, I'm thinking it'll probably be a hit for sure, especially if it's R-rated. It's gonna get crazy.
It's I mean, we've seen how these animated series have popped up, especially like Spawn actually had a good R-rated animated series. I think that was on HBO actually in the 90s. And even Harley Quinn has one right now in HBO Max. So just because it's animated, I wouldn't shun that. It's probably still going to be a good series nonetheless.
Yeah.
True. The only drawback I think to it, that news is just that it is news we've heard before. He was working on that animated series previously, so But this does feel like it's more substantial, and that there's we'll probably actually get it on Hulu. So yeah, be fun.
Yeah. Excuse me. The next piece of news, I guess, if you want to call it that, but we've got a release of DC films, and I'm not really big on it. Like, I don't usually release it, like when they kind of post everything that's going on or what's going to happen, because of the fact that it changes constantly, and we are in, crazy times. But, just to run down a few, we've got Suicide Squad coming in August. We've got the Batman, Aquaman 2, Shazam, Black Adam, Flash. What's interesting to me is The Rock just posted a picture of them filming as of today, and it's already got a release date of July 29th, 2022. I don't think that's going to happen. And then the dates that are to be announced, we've got Blue Beetle, we've got Green Lantern, we've got Hourman, Batgirl, the Amazons, Plastic Man, Santana, Static Shock, and Supergirl, which I thought that was kind of interesting that they were going back to Supergirl. But yeah, just it kind of seems like those to be announced ones have more, how do I say, more flair outside of, like, say, Aquaman 2 and Black Adam. I mean, I think a lot of us are in that viewpoint now where, Black Adam is probably going to be their saving grace just because of the characters who are in it, plus their star being Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, and listen, you have to give pretty much all credit to The Rock for even promoting Black Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, DC didn't do nearly as well of a job as he did on his social media in terms of getting that hype behind Black Adam. So when that movie hits, I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of their biggest hits, and I'm gonna say it's going to be mostly because of The Rock just pushing behind it.
I would love to see his contract, like upfront money for playing it, and probably like just this, I don't know, like the percentage he gets from like how well.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
He deserves every penny of it because DC doesn't seem to know how to market their own movies, and it's kind of unfortunate that a dude that, you know, isn't on the actual marketing board and all, he's the one that's actually basically having to carry the heavy load in terms of actually pushing the movie into the mainstream's attention. Yeah. So whatever they're paying him, I think he's already earned it, I find, in my mind.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm losing faith in DC's movies.
I think that just because of we don't even have a trailer yet, and I think people are already amped up for this movie just because of everything, all the hype that's been built around it. So I'm pretty sure that they realize what they kind of have, like, you know, in terms of this could be something special. So I would hope that DC knows this and they're not gonna, you know, mess things up.
Anything he's touched has turned into gold, like basically overnight. His tequila, his $7 company, everything he does, all his projects. He was just, and I know this has nothing to do with it, but there was a poll taken in the US, and maybe you are familiar with it, Face, but 46% of Americans would vote for The Rock as the president right now. Just a US.
That's great. Ronald Reagan was president too, and he was an actor.
Yeah,
and
no, I'm just saying.
There was a push for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is gold. He's the highest paid actor. He's Forbes #1 actor. So, like, the fact, my angle of this is what he does is gold. So him coming to DC over probably a role somewhere else, say possibly in Marvel or something like that, because he's already got works. You know, he has projects in Disney already. So he probably had a pitch for Marvel, but he chose to go to DC and is probably going to make something crazy. He is their saving grace. The movie's going to be awesome, and people are going to love it just because he's in it. So that's just
I hope that's
on that. That's all.
I hope that's accurate, but just him being in it does not sell a movie for me at all. He made The Tooth Fairy. I remember that very well, and it was fucking horrible.
Hold up. The Tooth Fairy also came out.
Yeah, it did. It came out a long time ago. That's true.
A long time ago. You kind of have to look past. I mean, look, everyone has.
I understand what you're saying. This is DC, man. This is DC.
But no one has a perfect resume in terms of their acting. I mean, everyone has.
Right. It doesn't matter. There is no way that you can validate to me him even looking at that. First of all, the fucking movie was called The Tooth Fairy. Then he read the script or whatever and still chose to take the fucking role. So his decision-making process in roles, I'm not necessarily convinced.
Me the role when I'm in the WWE making $800,000 and somebody offered me $5 million to do a movie, I would take it in a heartbeat.
But okay,
everybody starts out somewhere.
Here's the thing.
But the point is, he can make shitty movies.
So can anybody.
Like any other actor.
Of anybody. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Look at Nicolas Cage. Look at
exactly. So just automatically thinking it's going to be a great movie because he's in it.
No. I'm not saying that.
He's still doing it.
But what I'm saying is, okay, when he was doing The Tooth Fairy and where he is right now, it's two different positions. He had two different positions in Hollywood. He has a lot more clout now in terms of.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So
but what I'm saying is just him being in it does not make it a good movie. Let's wait till it comes out and see it first.
I'm not saying it's going to be a good movie.
There's a lot of shit that could go wrong with that movie. It's made by DC for one. You know?
That's true.
100%. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that something had to have been made or offered to Dwayne in order for him to take that, because he obviously knows his
money.
shit. That's all I'm saying.
He
No,
has
there's
money
gotta be
with
more
comfort
than that.
zone.
There's gotta be more
But,
than
but
that. That's
here's
all
the
I'm
thing. Here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised though, because how heavily involved Rock is in this movie, that he might take an executive producer kind of role in the movie itself. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not just on the casting side, but he's also on the production side to some extent. I'm not saying that he's going to be the director or something, but just that I'm pretty sure he realizes that his name is also, he's putting his name out there. So he
Yeah.
knows that this movie can't be a stinker and he can't shit the bed. So
that's all I'm saying.
like
And actually, I want to address a comment real quick that's in the chat to Mitch O. You want to talk about comparing apples to apples. We are comparing apples to apples. It's movies that were made by the fucking Rock. So if you can't follow that conversation, maybe this chat isn't the one for you.
Yeah, but like Hyper said, you're comparing something early on in a career. If you look at anybody's character, like any actor's
it's not
first
the fact
movie,
that
it's not the greatest. Like you have to
it's not
sometimes
his
take a
acting.
paycheck to get your name out there, and that's what he did.
Right. It's not his acting though. It's the choice of roles. I'm not saying he can look at a script or whatever and still take it, even if it doesn't look good. Like he's done that in the past. He did it with Pain and Gain. There's other movies out there. He's done it.
Yeah, 100%. And there's
So
a lot
he
of
could
actors that have
still-
done terrible movies elsewhere. Like Robert Downey Jr. has done terrible movies. Sean Connery,
Right. And he's not
actors.
writing the script is the thing. So DC's still making this fucking movie. It could still go very, very wrong.
That's true, because ultimately it is DC that's going to end up calling the shots. You're right. AOL, Time Warner, whatever they're calling themselves these days. Ultimately, they are the ones that basically put the budget out there in terms of how far they want to put money into the actual film itself. That's true.
It's
I mean,
hard to have faith in them. I mean,
but
when they've had good, like Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie was great, and then they came back with 84, and it just didn't. It couldn't even compare to the same thing. So it's.
But I think the statement that was made, compare apples to apples, is like you took it the wrong way, because you can't compare the Tooth Fairy to what he's doing now.
But here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
comparing the Tooth
That's
Fairy.
what the argument is.
That's what you're not following. I'm not comparing what he did, what his acting was in the Tooth Fairy. I'm saying the choice of roles after having looked at the script and everything and that, knowing about the movie, he will still take the role even if it maybe doesn't look the great. There's no way the fucking Tooth Fairy looked good. There's no way Pain and Gain looked good. He still took those roles.
If you're making
he's gonna see the script. Listen, no, hold on. Listen,
800,000 on a year's salary for wrestling, and then you get offered a role for $5 million, and you're trying to be an actor, you're going to take it 10 out of 10 times. You're going to take it 12.
How do you think that that's different if he's getting offered 50 million or whatever he's making?
Because right now he is the highest paid, he's the most popular. So right now he can pick and choose. Back then he didn't. He was basically just grabbing everything that he could, just like most of us do when that happens. Well, most. I'm not an actor, but that's what happens. Now he's in a position where he's the highest paid. He's Forbes #1 man, so he can pick and choose. It's different.
No, but Newbie,
and he's still done. It hasn't been good recently.
But okay, so here's the thing though. I'm gonna kind of almost liken it to the whole Deadpool situation with Fox, where that first movie got a limited budget because Fox, I don't think they gave it much of a chance because they didn't think that an R-rated movie would do so well in box office. Once that first movie came out and it did big numbers, they kind of expanded the budget, and then you got Deadpool 2. So I kind of think not exactly the similar situation, because I don't think they're going to wait for a sequel of Black Adam to come up before they give the big budget for this movie. I think they realize that the hype is getting garnered for this movie way before production. So I feel that they'll put a lot more resources into this Black Adam film as opposed to maybe their other DC movies.
I'd honestly have a lot more faith in it if they actually came out and said they were letting him write the fucking script with a comic book writer.
That's what I think. See, that's where I hope this is heading. I hope that The Rock is not just a performer. I have a feeling
because he seems to have a love for the character.
Yeah, I have a feeling
definitely does.
Yeah, I think that he probably will want to get involved on the production side.
And hopefully they'll let him. I mean, that's the thing. It's fucking DC, man. And until they can turn it around and
I think what we'll have this discussion. We'll have this discussion next summer when supposedly the movie comes. But yeah, It's
That
gonna.
oh, see, and that right there, that
It's
right there is
gonna hit.
absolutely true. It will hit regardless. You know,
Yeah.
people are gonna go see it no matter what because it is The Rock. He's a draw. They'll make money.
Look, I said the same thing about Aquaman though, because I told you guys when I went to go see Aquaman, what happened? There was like 30 women, old women that just came to watch the movie. They didn't know anything about the fucking movie. They didn't know anything about fucking Aquaman. They just knew they were going to see Jason Momoa in basically shorts because he was going to be shirtless for half the movie. And guess what? That happened. And then you look at the numbers of the movie and you see the success. To this day, I know my mom and my aunt who know nothing about comic books except the fact that Iron Man and Batman exist. Okay, those are the only two characters they know. They went to go see it with all their girlfriends and everything like that. And all they can tell you is, oh, yeah, I went to go see it because Jason Momoa, right? So the same thing is going to happen. The numbers aren't really going to reflect. All I'm saying is The Rock has a good track record now. He's #1 in Hollywood. So I have some faith that he knows what he's getting himself into. He's probably not going to want to butcher his name. He probably also knows what's going on with DC. Now, let's get on to some spec. Let's get on to some fun stuff, all right? Or no, sorry. Let's get on to some Falcon and Winter Soldier before we get into some spec.
Hold on, let me put the spoiler warning in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You guys continue talking. I'll just put spoiler.
So Face, Hyper, you guys have seen it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Face, you've seen it?
Yes.
Okay. So spoiler alert. Just give us a few minutes if you haven't seen it, or just mute us. Hyper will put conversation over once we're done. We're not going to talk about it for long, but let's just talk about what we are seeing. So we finally saw John Walker basically lose it. He loses his best friend. I know the feeling. So when I was watching it, I kind of knew what was going on through his head. The fact of the matter is, fuck that guy. And fuck John Walker, fuck John Walker, not the guy that passed away, but you guys know how I feel about it. Fuck John Walker.
Okay.
You know, I keep hearing everybody say that, but I don't see it. I don't see why.
I'm with Face on this one, actually. I'll let Newbie say his piece, and then
Tell me why it's fuck that guy.
Because he he literally, for me, if that was me, I would feel, how do I word this? John Walker acts like he's been there the whole time. And I'm not one of those guys. I'm one of those guys that when I walk into somebody's home, I respect it. I give you the respect that, you've been here before, you've done it. The way he talks to Bucky and the way he talks to Sam is kind of hey, you're nothing. And I'm this big symbol, when it's dude, you're nothing. You know what I mean? You've done nothing. And all of a sudden now, he's going to cheat his way into getting the serum because, let's be real. That's what it looks like. He's going to take that serum that he stole from Zemo. He already
took that shit, bro.
He's just shady as hell. And to be honest, if anyone's related to the character who plays him, he just has one of those faces that you just want to punch or you just want to be like, go fuck yourself.
That's nothing he can control.
That's just what happens, though. He just has one of those faces that I'm like, you know what?
You sound like a bully right now.
No, I'm not. Dude,
damn.
John Walker could probably kick my ass. Okay, he's taller than me. I'm only 5'9". What I'm saying is, he just has that vibe. He has zero respect to me. And I think it just goes to show you how deep we are with these characters and what these characters have meant to us throughout the years, right? This guy's just coming out of nowhere, has never really I get it. He's fought in Afghanistan and things like that. I'm not trying to take it, because I know there's a lot of military people. I'm not trying to take it that route. We're talking comics here, right? But he comes in and he just kind of acts like he's, been there, done everything, and shows no respect to Sam and Bucky. I just don't like that. I'm not a fan of the disrespect, especially when the shield shouldn't have been his. You know what I mean? That's also the thing, right? And I respect Sam because Sam's kind of kept quiet. Because if I was in Sam's shoes, I'd be like, dude, that is not your shield. That's not. I gave it up, and that's why you have it, right? So.
And that makes sense. I think it's okay. So I guess our viewpoints are a little different in perspective. And, I understand. What's that?
No, I'll let you go first, and then I'll jump in after.
Wait, Face, before you go on, just one more thing. John Walker, fuck that guy.
If it wasn't clear before.
it's a difference in perspective, and actually, I'm kind of glad that I asked you why you feel like that, because I didn't really. I mean, like I guess I kind of sort of tried to take that point into perspective, but right, the thing is, you have to understand, and maybe I'm reading more into it than I should be, but I'm trying to assume that it's a well written character and everything like that. John Walker, is a military veteran. He's, won 3 medals of honor over in Afghanistan and everything like that, according to his character. Now, we already knew that he was taking the serum at some point because he's playing John Walker.
So wait, he hasn't taken it yet, or he has? Because there's that one
he has
scene.
taken. Yeah,
where he bends it, right? Like he bends
he took it at that point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we knew he was going to take it because he's playing John Walker, and he's taken Super Soldier Serum in the comics. But the thing is, with him being military and in that background that he has and everything, he didn't necessarily choose to be Cap. He was chosen because of his military career and everything like that. They thought he would be a good person to put in that role. So that's why they chose him. And he's trying to do the best job that he can. He is supposed to be a leader. And the reason why you kind of feel like maybe he's more disrespectful to Bucky and Sam is that's what he was supposed to do, though. That's like that was supposed to be his job. He was given this job to go and be the leader. And he was just assuming that people would go with that because they kind of felt like, I guess, maybe the Avengers were kind of in line with the government, and he's just seeing that that's not quite how it's working out. And I feel like I don't think I'm not going to sit here and say by any means that I feel like his character deserves a shield or anything, because he definitely doesn't, but I don't think he's necessarily done anything. Yeah, I mean, he did kill that dude, but in his position, and he just watched his best friend get killed in front of him and everything. I can't blame him for that. Like, I haven't seen him do anything that horrible, just from the difference in perspective. So,
yeah. So
as a military guy, he's been doing what he's supposed to do. He's been trying his best, and other people haven't been cooperating with him.
Listen, here's my rebuttal or argument to that, and it
goes
back.
Wait. Let me get my point, and then you can get your rebuttal.
Okay. Sorry. Let's get hyper. I'm gonna start going last. That's what I'm gonna start doing.
Yeah.
Wait, Hyper, before you go on, I just want to comment real quickly. Man, fuck that guy, John Walker.
Oh gosh.
Go on.
If that's your rebuttal, then I don't think we're gonna have much of an argument. Listen, I don't think John Walker is an inherently bad dude. We've seen it. Like, normally when you see villains in like movies and all that, you'll see that like they'll act like a certain way in front of the cameras, and then behind the scenes they'll have like some ulterior motives. His conversations with Lamar Hoskins never indicated at one point that he had any, dastardly motives for taking on the shield or anything like that. You could tell from his conversation. You could tell that he's trying to be a good person. And I mean, think about his position. Like, he was kind of given this whole Captain America shield, and he realizes the responsibility attached to it, and he's trying his best to kind of ingratiate himself with Bucky and Sam, and he was trying to extend an olive branch, and they kind of basically spat in his face, and they kind of gave him the cold shoulder. So like, listen, what happened?
Go ahead, Hype. Go ahead.
But look, the point is, he's trying his best at his job, and no one's taking him seriously. He got his ass kicked by pretty much everyone that he's fought, including the Dora Milaje. And even when he's trying to play ball with these guys, they're not willing to. Because here's the thing. Sam passed on the shield, and I know that Sam didn't realize that it was going to go to someone else, but it did. And Sam has to kind of give they do have to kind of give him a chance just to see if he can at least. I know he's not there to replace Steve Rogers, and he even said that. But he realized that, he has an obligation as Captain America, and he's trying to do it. And he's just getting to a point where basically no one's taking him seriously. He's getting his ass kicked, and he's at his wit's end. And then the straw that broke the camel's back is seeing his friend get his back broken and killed. And yeah, that basically made him snap and lose it. So I can't really blame him. I mean, it's just that no one's given him a chance since day one. So it's almost like, what did you expect? What did you think was going to happen? So
Yeah, right. It was Bucky and Sam that kind of blew him off first. He was
yeah,
trying to work with him.
the only part that I kind of maybe was like, I may have had a bit of a sour attitude towards him was when he said, "Stay the hell out of my way." But even at that point, that's because that this
They
is
blew
after,
him off.
yeah.
Like,
So
they just told him they wouldn't work with him.
Look, man, I'm to be honest with you, I'm kind of old school, I guess. So I don't know. When you come into somebody's backyard, I think it's just always respectful to.
But he was trying to be respectful.
Give him a call.
The house was
when I go to somebody's house, I always take my shoes off. I'm always like, hey, can I sit here? Like I don't wait. Like I don't just expect somebody to be like, yeah, sit. There's a couch. Like, that's just how I was raised. And that's just kind of how I saw him. Like I get what you guys are saying, but at the same time, like when the shield was given, like I feel like the respectable thing would have probably been, hey, you know what? I'm gonna call this Bucky guy and the Sam guy and let them know, because it's always better to come. The saying is true. You always want to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? I want to know stuff from the horse's mouth. Like if Hyper was talking shit about me, I don't want to hear it from Joe Blow. I want to hear it from Hyper, right? Not to say
that's not
he's talking shit, but you know what I mean. That's just kind of where I'm from. That's kind of how I do things. So like that's where I'm getting the whole disrespect thing, right? And you could see it through Sam and Bucky, more so Bucky, but we also know that when they were in that jail together for a very short time, we got to understand why Bucky's mad, because Bucky was a symbol to him, and if he was wrong about Sam, then he was wrong about him, meaning that he wasn't a good person, right? So that's just kind of where it is. I don't know. I don't like the John Walker character. I hope he's not around for a long time. He just embodies like that douchebag guy that we all have. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I'm just not seeing it. I mean, maybe if he played a bigger dick on the show, that maybe I could probably come on board. It's just that I just feel like I don't know. And the thing is, it's not like he gave Bucky and Sam the cold shoulder. He was trying to work with them, and it's not like, I don't think he had a direct line either to Bucky. I don't even know if he even has a direct line to actually be reached.
And not only that, but they portrayed him as being military, whether it was, he still is, or he was former military. He's still working for the government. You don't get those options. Like they tell you what to do, and that's what you do. They told him, be Captain America. He's following orders.
But like, listen. When you look back at that situation, right? Sam and Bucky had it, okay, and then all of a sudden, Walker comes and handcuffs Zemo. And then he gets so impatient and he's like, okay, we gotta go. Like Sam had that conversation and he was building a relationship with Carly, and then he ruined it. You know what I mean? So like there's that respect thing where like, hey dude, Sam and Bucky have done this for a while. Like you haven't. So like just wait. You know what I mean?
He has done it. He's just done it under different circumstances. And those circumstances that he's done it under, being, military and everything like that, his natural instinct is going to be to provide backup. Like that's just where he's going.
And also, just to add to that, because like in John Walker's mind, Carly, like he views her as a fanatic, and with a fanatic, like they usually feel that they can't be rationalized, and not only a fanatic, but a fanatic with superpower, with the super serum. And she's basically. Yeah, she's basically in a room alone with a civilian, Sam Wilson.
Right.
I don't think John Walker was purposely trying to manipulate Bucky. I honestly think John Walker assessed the situation and he didn't think that it was going to end well for Sam Wilson. And I think even Bucky realized the danger in the situation as well. Look, even like, why didn't Bucky stop John Walker from getting through even after John? Because even with
Bucky could have stopped him too.
Yeah, because Bucky even kind of had doubts himself, and he's closer to Sam than John Walker is. So, I mean,
no. At the same time, though, I will say I do feel like that was probably the one thing that I've seen so far where I would say that he was more wrong than any other time that he has been. He did get impatient. You know, he asked for 10 minutes. He told him he was going to give him 10 minutes.
Sure,
He gave him
sure.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, fine, yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean,
I might get that trademarked. I might make that a T-shirt. I don't know.
it's good that it's a divisive character though, because you know he should be. I mean, the way that they're portraying him and everything in the series, there should be
Listen,
a lot of.
There's a lot to go, but we still got spec to go. So listen, I'll end it with this. It's WrestleMania.
I know.
It's WrestleMania. We were just talking about The Rock. So here's my last message to John Walker.
Oh gosh.
You know your damn role, and you shut your damn mouth. All right. I hope everybody knows what I'm talking about, because if I just said that, people are like, "I don't get it."
You kind of butchered that line, but it's okay.
Close enough, man. Close enough. All right. I hope the popcorn's ready. I hope people got Coronas ready to go. Okay, so this week's spec's a little weird. I've kind of been doing some, not heavy lifting, but I've been trying to look at some other stuff. Yo, wait, did Face just bounce out of here? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I was gonna say, I'm like, where'd he go?
Second.
So yeah, so I've been just doing some looking at some characters, or a character rather, that I think is going to be pretty big. So I started looking at some of the characters that we could see maybe pop up. When we think spec, we think, hey, you know, basically spec means what book can I buy right now to make money? Okay, so that's kind of the angle that I took it from. So, you know, some of these books you guys might be like, what? But you never know. Again, it's just spec, right? But again, I'm talking about characters that I really feel strongly about. So let's get into it. Newbie spec of the week. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Sure.
First book up.
Sure.
No, don't laugh, man.
No, I'm laughing at Face's comment, not your spec.
Okay. All right.
Do it.
First book, Newbie spec of the week. Here we go. G.I. Joe's is hot. Transformers is hot. Sonic, Super Mario, all that stuff. You can't leave out some of this stuff. So we got Nom, #1, first issue. Duh. Older shows, cartoons, etc. The nostalgia feel, that's coming back. Raw copies are still in dollar bins. Now, I capitalized condition is key to the flip. Yes. This is what I mean by that. There's multiple copies of these books in any shop that I go to. You could probably pick up the whole run. The problem is you have to make sure that because there's so many, you pick out the 9.6s, 9.8s, okay? So for a lot of older collectors, you guys will probably know this. A lot of the younger ones might not know this, but this, with the nostalgia feel, definitely there is some money to be made with this. Raw copies sell anywhere between $1 and $10 Canadian, and the last sold was a 9.8 for 200 best offer. So we don't know, but we also know that from that information, it didn't exceed $200 because it was given at 198 best offer, right? It's got the nostalgia feel. It's got that, you know, 80s, 90s feel. A lot of the older guys that I talk to, they talk about this book. They talk about all that nostalgia stuff. So it was just right to give it its due. It is a book that could be something. Again, it's just the first issue. The nostalgia feel is what we're looking for here. But if you're trying to maybe look at a few bucks, or rather make a few bucks, this is probably a good book to start off. And again, there's so many of them that you can pick and choose basically your condition.
I honestly, I mean, I've heard of this series. I know it's there. I haven't actually ever collected it. I'm not really a big collector of like war comics.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, interesting pick. So, but I don't really have much to add to it, unfortunately.
I'm not exactly sure what the first issue of the series entails. I think some of the later issues have some Nick Fury stuff in them, some Punisher stuff.
Yeah, someone's saying 52 and 53 is the origin of Punisher.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think Nick Fury comes into some of the issues. I know those issues definitely, you know, if you can find those in dollar bins for sure, there's always a niche market that's constantly grabbing them in the back market, the back issue market. And of course, there's a whole niche of military, collectors that go after these non-issues because they do have that, nostalgia to them and everything like that. So
Right.
yeah, if you come across, some of these, and obviously, it's the first issue, so it's clearly a key too. First issue, the Punisher issues, the Nick Fury issues, you come across those in dollar bins, pretty cheap. Yeah, it's probably worth grabbing, and you can probably make a couple bucks off them.
Yeah. Just be on the lookout for it because it is out there. Again, you basically have your pick of what condition you want. I wouldn't necessarily grab any low condition books, but hey, you never know, man. You never know. All right, next book on Newbie Spec of the Week, and here's where we get a little crazy, but again, it's a character that I'm really big on, I really believe in, so I started looking a little deeper into what's going on. So, book number 2, here we go. We've got Overkill number 1, okay? This one's just a little interesting just because of the tie-ins we got, so let's butcher this name. Algeron Crow?
Close. Algeron.
Okay. Well, hey, close. So he gets his power from Mephisto. Everybody's so high on Mephisto. Something could be there. Who knows? With the magic realm, the fantasy realm, who knows? Raw copy selling, and I was hoping Sam was here because I couldn't find any on eBay. But again, he's got ties to Mephisto, Eternals, Thanos, all that stuff. Again, here's why I say this. I'm not saying this is $1,000 book or $100,000 book, but if you're buying this book for like say $2, $5, somewhere around there, and it turns into 25, well, guess what? Mission accomplished. You bought a spec book, you got profit, you move on, right? This is just a book that I think that maybe if you see it out in the wild, it could be something. Again, it's got tie-ins to Techno Wizards. I really do believe that there's room for that fantasy realm and all that stuff with all the magic stuff that's going on. It's a possibility. So
I'm gonna see if I could find anything on the value of this while you're speaking.
Yeah. Well, Base, I'll let you have the floor as Hyper's looking at the information.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's got some ties to Mephisto. The Eternals, the Thanos, all the big stuff that seems to be going on in the MCU right now. So it's possible. I don't know actually a whole lot about the character at all. It's possible you could see him show up as a supporting character or something like that. And like you said, maybe the issue gets a little pop or something like that. I'm going to guess that you're probably going to mostly find this one in dollar bins because I don't think that I've ever seen it,
Yeah, it was
like
really
on a shelf
weird.
or anything.
Yeah, it was really weird. I've never seen it in the wild, but again, I've never really looked for it. So it'd be interesting to see when shops open if I could. But again, on eBay or anything like that, I couldn't find any either.
Right? Yeah, I've actually never seen this one before. So
yeah,
and just interesting to me just because of that.
Yeah, and again, when you come to spec, I mean that's why I make that comment, right? Like the people, I think, always assume like, hey, let me know what book I can buy for $5. It's going to be $1,000. You don't really know. I'm not saying this is $1,000 book, but like if you're looking for a book and you're going to spend maybe $1 to $5 and it could be a $25 to $30 book, well, mission complete. There you go. You spec, you made money, you made profit, you make money to go. Like everybody's always looking for that big kill. Sometimes making smaller kills, actually it's ironic because we're talking about overkill, but if you make smaller kills, you're gonna at the end, like if you bought a book for $500 and it sells for $1,000, okay, you made $500. But if you bought like say 20 books at $50, and then they turned into like $100 or $300, you're gonna make more money off that way. So you have to kind of look at it that way. Sometimes a lot of people just always look for that big kill. So
well, and the other thing that Marvel has kind of I don't want to say it's necessarily a trend lately, but it maybe looks like they might be starting to do this is they're actually building it like secondary characters and stuff through the different series that you're putting out. Like you've seen how Agatha Harkness has taken off from the WandaVision series, and there's been talks of her doing, coming back for that, role again to do something in the future. John Walker is another one that we were just talking about. He's already signed on for like I think a couple different projects. So if it is a supporting character that's interesting enough and they cast it well, who knows?
Yeah. Here's another piece too. Is look at the tie-ins: Mephisto, Thanos, Eternals. Eternals we already know is coming. Everybody seems to think that Thanos is coming back. We've already had him. Everybody and their grandma supposedly thinks that Mephisto's coming. You can't talk to anybody saying Mephisto's coming, right? So if you believe that, what's so crazy to think about this? I give you Galactus, where you look at all his heralds. Every herald that he has gone up in price since everybody's going crazy about, oh, we might get Silver Surfer, we might get Galactus. What's to say that it doesn't happen for the same people that kind of get into Mephisto's world if you actually believe Mephisto's coming? This is what happens with spec. You buy when it's dead, you buy when it's low. That's the whole point of spec. So for those reasons, the tie-ins and everything like that, I wouldn't mind finding 2 or 3 copies of this at $1 or $2 and picking it up.
I think Hyper's not having much luck finding this thing.
No.
Told you, man, it's
Thing's a fucking ghost,
dude. It's a ghost. So if anybody finds this book, please let me know.
I'm trying to type different things on eBay. I can't seem to.
Because again, if you can't find it, then it makes it a ghost. And if you do find it, well, then hey, you can kind of set the price bar, right? So
can't find it because they're all sitting in back issue bins.
Oh wait, okay, found it.
Uh-oh.
Because the key is you kind of have to type in UK because it's a Marvel UK imprint.
Okay. Now, well, that explains.
Let me see if
where's Sam when we need him.
I found one selling for $17. Let me see if there's anything that actually sold.
Ultra Saiyan, is it magazine size?
I'm not sure about that, but on eBay I'm seeing one sell for $18 Canadian. So
Hidden Gem is saying raw copy selling for Sam. Sam is usually our eBay guy, and he gets the most up to date stuff, right? Because I do my presentations and the prices like basically 6 days before or 5 days before. So if there's newer sales, Sam usually pops in with the up to date sale. So that's what it means. But I think Sam's not in here today. So yeah. Well, hey, again, one copy sold for $18. I mean,
no, not sold, selling.
Oh, selling.
I haven't seen anything that's sold though.
I mean that UK shit does make it a little more interesting. I mean, like Judge Dredd is a big UK character that sort of gotten imported over here. Some of those UK issues that go for a premium. Transformers has a lot of old UK stuff that gets pretty expensive over here.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's go to book number 3. And again, book number 3 and number 4, we're going to kind of see a theme. So let's get to it. Hyper, you ready?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
All right, wait. Which books did we do? One? Oh, yeah, we only did one. All right, so book number 3. So I thought we were on 4. So Newbie spec of the week. Book number 3. Avengers Annual 22. First appearance of Ahmed the Arabian Wizard. First appearance of Blood Wraith, or Wrath. It's a Black Knight villain. The fantasy world is coming. I think it's going to be pretty big. Raw copies are selling anywhere between $3 and $10. The last CGC sold was a 9.6 for $35 Canadian. Anytime you can get a slab under $45 is good because that's usually what it costs to get it slab. But again, here's what the two basically the biggest things to take out of this. It's a Black Knight villain. So what that means is it's a possibility. I looked at all the villains that he could possibly have, whether it be in his past or anything like that. Again, all he has to do is show up, and it's got something. You know what I mean? Like that's just what history shows us. Plus the whole fantasy thing, I do believe is coming. I think they're doing horror. I think they're doing fantasy, all that stuff. So we can have wizards. We can have all that. I think Black Knight. If you're not on the train already and you want to believe it's not going to be a big thing, hey, that's on you. I'm really sold on Black Knight. I think Black Knight is going to be very big. So it's not a bad book to be on the lookout for. Again, is it going to be $1,000 book? Absolutely not. But if you find a good copy, you could turn it to a few bucks. Like, perfect example, you find one in 9.6 condition. I mean, for $1 or $2, you could probably sell it for $35.
Yeah.
Again, you've made profit. So it just depends on where you think and where your imagination goes and what you believe is going to happen. I truly believe that the fantasy world is coming. I truly believe Black Knight is a big thing. So that's why I believe in this book.
Yeah, and you're not exactly breaking the bank either, like you mentioned, right? So even if these characters don't exactly pan out, so I mean, you just lost basically $5 and that's it. It's better that than spending like 50 or $60 on a character that may or may not hit. So yeah, this could be one of those things that and plus, these are villains, so I don't think even if they do pop, who's to say that they're gonna stick around for the long haul? So yeah, this is just one of those things. It could be one of those. If you find it in a dollar bin or in the wild, it's just like a pick up and stash kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Black Knight's a shot in the dark for any of his like ancillary characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just not, he's not such a big character and has such a specific villain that you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, they're going to use Black Knight with this guy because this is his fucking arch nemesis. And, that's the movie they're going to give us. So they could use absolutely anybody in stuff that they do with Black Knight. So, if you can find the Black Knight keys for, cheap, like this one's looking like it's going basically cover price. Yeah, sure, why not grab it? And who knows if it's the one that they end up using in the villain, using in the movie for the villain, you could definitely see a pop in it.
Yeah. Again, it's just a cheap buy-in. Again, I know because even when I look at spec stuff, like I'm hoping that somebody tells me, hey, that $2 book you just passed up at your shop, it's $1,000 book.
You mean like Kanto?
Yeah, like it doesn't happen all the time. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just have to hold on things.
Kanto happened recently.
You also have to look at what's coming up. You can't be blind to the fact of what things are going to happen. So again, like I said, I truly believe that we're going to get a fantasy world in the MCU at some point. I also think Black Knight is going to be a big deal. So for those two reasons, when I'm doing my research, when I'm looking at certain characters, when I'm trying to tie in certain things that I can envision in my mind, because I pay my taxes and I'm able to do that, this book came to mind. So
yeah, there's no way to know who that they're going to use in the Black Knight. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, if this was a $50 book, I wouldn't tell you guys to go.
No, it's too much of a gamble.
Find this book for $2 somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hopping on it. Yeah, for sure, I'll look for it. So,
and I agree with Tim. The Shang-Chi buyers are also it's a lot of those books are undervalued at the moment as well.
Exactly.
So wait until that character also pops up.
And what do I always say? Unless it's like right in our face where they're like, hey, you're gonna overlook and you're gonna undervalue some books. That's just what happens. Shang-Chi, man, it's crazy how many books are undervalued right now and people are sleeping on them. But that's the same thing's gonna happen with Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Black Knight, Eternals, all of this. It's just going to spike. So, Newbie Spec of the Week, book number 4. And speaking of Black Knight, let's talk more Black Knight. We got first appearance of Asylum. Raw copy selling anywhere between $1 and $5. Black Knight villain, again, just something that I think they could do. It's got that whole dark force energies, hallucinations, just all of that, just all the stuff that I think they could do. Again, is it $1,000 book? No, but if you can come across it and it hits, who knows? That's the important thing. Again, you kind of have to be on Black Knight. You have to believe that Black Knight is going to be big. You have to believe in the fact that fantasy is going to be big. If not, don't buy it. I hate when people go to, people who spec and they buy all those books and then they, trash the people that are specking. Like, you just kind of have to fend for yourself and believe it. I truly believe in the fantasy and I truly believe in Black Knight. So that's why this is one of those characters. And again, it's kind of like Tim saying, I don't know, Black Knight had such rogue gallery and things like that. A lot of people don't know some of the villains, but you have to believe that at some point Black Knight is going to stem off from Eternals, have his own thing, and he's going to have to battle some of these characters. So who can he take? I mean, he's not going to be fighting Thanos or John Walker or anything like that. He's going to have certain things, or certain characters rather. So you have to kind of start looking into the characters that he's had beef with, he's had history with, and things like that.
How many do we know how many projects Kit Harington has signed on for?
4.
4?
Okay,
So well, because he's doing the Eternals movie, obviously. And
but remember, projects doesn't necessarily mean a whole movie. It could mean a cameo. It could, it could mean a number of things, right?
right, that's true.
Right. But he's doing the Eternals movie, and he's probably going to do at least 1, maybe 2 Avengers movies. So that does leave an opportunity in there for a solo movie or for him to show up in some other stuff. So
yeah,
what I'm hearing is, and I was told this, okay, and I like to think I have some good sources and things like that. I've got really good people behind me and things like that. But I'm hearing Black Knight is going to be a big deal. So whether it pans out or not, that's kind of the risk you take. But anything, you gotta bet big in order to make big. So
since we're kind of sticking with Black Knight, I do want to bring up Miguel Grasa's comment, which I 100% agree, to pick up that Black Knight 1990 issue 1 to 4, his first miniseries.
Yep.
Because we saw the same thing happen with Blade when he was announced that his first solo series from the 1990, that issue 1, which was like a $4 book for the longest time, ended up becoming almost like a $30 book. Which is not. And it's also a tougher book to grade because of the black cover. I picked up that 4-issue run recently for like $10 or $15, but it's definitely something that you might want to grab, because there's also a first appearance in there in that 4-issue. I can't remember who ends up actually becoming like somewhat of a potential villain also for the Black Knight. So yeah, that 1990 series is not a bad pickup as well.
Well, shit. Speaking of, they actually got a miniseries that's going on right now, the Curse of the Ebony Blade miniseries. That you could something come out of that. Who knows? I don't think that's going to be anything that's going to necessarily be showing up in the Eternals or anything like that. But
now you also guys got to remember too. You got to remember there's multiple Black Knights, right? Different times, right? There's been different mantles to hold Black Knight, and I think that this wouldn't be a crazy thing to pick up those first appearances either.
Yeah.
Good luck picking up first.
The
1990s.
But the 1990 series, I think Dane Whitman is the Black Knight in that 4-issue series.
Yeah. Yes. All right, no more Black Knight talk. Let's go to the final book. And the final book is probably going to be one of those that a lot of people are like, the fuck out of here. What are you talking about, right? It's not going to be a cheap book. I'll tell you guys right now. But it's a book I think has a huge potential. But let's get to it. Newbie spec of the week, final book. Young Avengers #1. First appearance of a few characters here. Looking like the giant size X-Men of our time. 9.8 sold for $1,200 April 7th. So what was that, like 2 days ago? 9.6 sold for $700.
Nice.
The way things are going, the way everybody's talking, it's more of a conversation piece, I guess. But when you throw things like the giant size X-Men of our time, you kind of have to start thinking, like, if you go look back at the last 5 years where giant size X-Men was, it was kind of in the same ballpark as this, 1,200, 700. Then all of a sudden it gets stupidly out of hand. If you believe in the Young Avengers and you believe in some of these characters having a lasting impression and being the future, I mean, wouldn't you pick this up? Because this should triple in price eventually, right?
Here's the thing, though. This book is interesting because of the multiple appearances, we already know that one is definitely confirmed, Kate Bishop, in the Hawkeye series. So we know she's coming, and we've already saw a bit of a foreshadowing with the Patriot, with Isaiah Bradley and his.
Yep.
I keep forgetting. Is that his nephew or his grandson in that?
His grandson.
His grandson.
Yeah,
okay. So two of those characters. I mean, Kate Bishop for sure is coming. Patriot, they're strongly hinting at that he might show up also. So, and the other characters like Hulkling, Iron Lad. Hulkling, I'm kind of iffy on just because I don't know how they're going to introduce him, but Iron Lad as like, yeah. So this has a lot going for it, and the fact that there's already a couple of MCU Disney Plus characters in this book.
seen
I think
Asgardian too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Asgardian. Saw Asgardian too.
Listen,
Exactly.
Mike, before you go on,
Yeah.
Kyle Collector, thank you so much for that super chat, brother. I appreciate it. You're always tuning in. You're always doing some good things. So, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, supporting. Much love, man. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think. Okay, so I someone in the chat mentioned that they think that the Volume 2 Avengers might be the actual Young Avengers. I wouldn't spec on this more so for the actual team of the Young Avengers, but just that some of these appearances are already confirmed. As a team itself, I'm not sure if this is the actual unit you're going to see in the Young Avengers, if it does come to light in the MCU.
I agree, but here's the thing that pisses me off is I had, and Face, you know this because I messaged you when we started what we were doing, right? I had 2 copies of this, and I ended up selling them for like $70 a piece, and like they were like 9.6s. So
Yeah.
It is one of those books that I'm like, but you win some.
Yeah. Well, I think we had talked about it at the time that there was potential with them doing some stuff.
Yeah.
These guys, but I mean,
you gotta be patient, man. You just gotta be patient. But like, here's the thing about it, and this is why I'm putting it in the spec, is the fact that like, okay, I get it. $1,200 is a lot of money, okay? And I do the compare game better than anybody because I look at that price and I go, man, I could get an ASM 129 for that price. I can get an ASM 300. Here's the thing, though. That 300 I can get later once Venom is kind of out. The Punisher, yes, while iconic, the prices go like this. The Punisher is not going like this. This one is going to go like this, okay? Because of the fact that all these characters are coming, and especially if, I mean, you talk to any YouTuber, you talk about people who spec, you talk about people who think or tell you what's going to happen. This is one of those books that comes up. It's number 4, I think, on the top list. On cover, CBSI, like things like that. It's in that 4, 5, 6 spot, things like that. So the fact it's gone up that much too since last year, only going to go up. I mean, we already have, like Hyper said, confirmed Kate Bishop. So what's that going to do? History tells us that once that Kate Bishop show happens, this is going to have another spike because Kate Bishop, this is the first appearance. She's hot. That's what people want. That's what people are going to chase, and boom. So it's going to go up. Then Patriot. I mean, I would like to think that they teased him, but they're going to use him later. Again, another spike. So this does have the potential if these characters are the future. That's the key. The other key is this the actual team that they use? Because then you're only banking on Kate Bishop or Patriot or one of these characters kind of taking that mantle and making it super popular and it being a bigger book. So.
And Azer actually brought up a good point in the chat, actually, which I completely overlooked. Iron Lad
is Kang.
Kang, and
everybody sleeps on that, man. Everybody.
Yeah, and Asgardian is Wiccan. So technically, we've already kind of saw. I mean, we obviously saw the child version in WandaVision, but who's to say that you won't get the grown up? Now, here's the thing. Tim asked about which version of Young Avengers one you should get, because we know that there's several copies. We know there's the one that you're showing. There's a director's cut, which is almost, it has like that half shaded look, like a cover look.
It's the same cover, just different colors and shades and things like that. Yeah.
That book, because I was tracking this because I have both. That book, for the longest time, you were able to get raw copies because it was almost considered like the inferior of the two. That one you could have all day you could have got that for like $20-$30. I'm seeing 9.8s of that selling for like $600, $500 of the director's cut. The most sought after one is that Wizard World Convention one, which is only a
Yes.
limited number, which I think is like a pretty much like, it looks like a sketch cover. That one I'm pretty sure is a lot higher than the first, and also the one that you might not want to sleep on if you do find it in the wild is there's a Toy Biz reprint that came with, like, I believe the action figure. It basically will say not for resale on the bottom where the barcode would be. That one also is fetching for some coin as well.
The wizard one is the one to get.
The wizard one is the one to get, but it's also the most expensive. But I mean, honestly, if you got any of those variants of Young Avengers 1 back then, you're probably in the money right now.
Yeah, but that Wizard World one though, there's also kind of like there's a bit of a novelty price tag attached to that one too, because you're not gonna find another 9.5 graded comic either.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Yeah.
That reminds me of an argument that this one guy tried to fight me about. To this day, I think he was on like crack or something, but he tried to tell me that, oh, what was it? Oh, a 7.3. He's like, man, I almost bought that book in a 7.3. I can't even remember what book it was. Just remember the fact he said that. I kind of turned and kind of gave him one of those looks like, the fuck? And then he kind of basically wanted to fight me because he's like, yo, nobody disrespects me and looks at me like that. And I was like,
seriously?
Yeah. And I was I was with my buddy.
For that.
My buddy was like,
actually, the thing is though, it just depends on the circumstances, because there's been everybody knows CGC, and the other bigger companies as far as grading, but there's been not a whole lot, but there's been some smaller grading companies that have come into existence for periods of time that have done some weird shit with grading. So it could have, maybe he found something by one of them that was graded 7.3 or something. Who knows?
This guy got kicked out of the shop, okay, because he was like and even the shop owner was like afterwards he was like, man, is that guy on crack or something? Like, because he was just talking all this bullshit, man, and it was just kind of like, one, we never seen you in the shop. Two, like, our area, like, you kind of know everybody, right? Like, there's less than 200,000 people, but you kind of know everybody. So, like, just to come in and, like, kind of act that way and, like, kind of act like you knew everything, it was just kind of like, man,
it's just that, like,
7.3, get the hell out of here.
I've never heard of a company that does it, but I guess it's possible.
It's just that I'm having a hard time retelling the story about how I got into a fight over a CGC grade. That's the part that I'll have a hard time retelling. But since we're talking about CGC and grading, and particularly on this book, what's hilarious about this is that a friend of mine got this graded from CGC, and I think I told you guys how in the notation he sent them a first print of the original Young Avengers. They put on the notation reprint.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they basically mislabeled the slab.
Wow. He should have been able to just call him and get it reslabbed though.
I'm pretty sure he could have, but I mean, the fact that
wouldn't that make it like more like valuable because of the mess up?
You would. I mean, that's what people are banking on. Remember that whole Falcon and Winter Soldier when they put DC Comics?
Yeah.
People are thinking, oh, maybe they shouldn't. They should keep it because it's now a collector's item. But it's like, I mean, I would rather have the correct label on my slab.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%. But we know how those error, the printing error, the color error, all that stuff is, and people go crazy for it. So you never know, right?
And no, Ultra, it wasn't the reprint. It was the actual. It was the legit.
I don't know. That's not. I know that some of those errors and stuff like that may sometimes have a premium. That's not the one that I would want to have on it though, because I just, you just know that trying to sell that, somebody's gonna come back at you and be like, "Well, it's a fucking reprint, so I should pay less." It says it right there. It's a reprint.
That's exactly my point, because people people will take CGC's label as gospel, right? So even if you could have Detective Comics 880, and if CGC put it as X-Men 1, they might think, oh shoot, this is X-Men 1.
Yeah, right.
Can I ask you before we finish here with this book, already being $1,200 book in a 9.8.
Yeah.
If you truly believe in this being the future, if you truly believe in these characters hitting, whether it be one or two of them, again, Kate Bishop, we already know is confirmed. Patriot, we technically already saw. I don't think they're going to just leave that in, under the rug kind of thing. I think he's going to have something. Iron Lad, I think a lot of people sleep on the fact that he's actually Kang the Conqueror. Wiccan, we've already seen. If you really believe in this, I mean, even at $1,200 in a 9.8 is cheap for the fact of like where this book could be in a 9.8.
It definitely has potential. You're right. I guess I think we've had this discussion in our buy-sell segment where I personally have a hard time paying 4 digits for a modern book.
Yeah, same.
That's just my way around. Like, if when I hit that kind of price realm, I much rather go into bronze and silver.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not saying that this the value is not justified. It's just that I'd much rather find this raw and slab. Put it that way. I probably wouldn't buy a 9.8 slab if it's going for that much. That's probably my position on it.
Yeah, I got to agree with Hyper. This is a modern book, so if I'm buying it raw, I should be getting it in pretty damn good condition to begin with. So I think I'd probably be my preferred method if I was going to buy it raw and then get it slabbed. And I mean, it's tough because they do have the champions floating out there too, the other Marvel like youth group, and it's hard to say which direction that they're going to go. They could do both. Which one are they going to lean on more? But I think there's a lot of value in the Young Avengers, and I do think that at some point we are going to see them show up. I think we're going to get both champions and the Young Avengers down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is how
I look at books like, if you can't afford your giant size X-Men, those books, right? Like, and you're coming into this hobby and you really believe this is the future. Well, I mean, just go look at the prices of Hulk 181, giant size X-Men 1, like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if I remember saying the same thing about giant size X-Men when I saw it for like $500 years ago. And I was like, I'm not spending $500 on that. No. Instead, I ended up paying $2,500.
But it's all relative, right? Because at that time, $500 for a comic may have been a lot compared to everything else at the time. Right now,
Right.
when you see $500 for a giant size X-Men, it's considered a steal because of everything else going up.
Exactly.
So it's like, hindsight, it's 2020. I find in those kind of situations.
Yeah. So that's all. I just think that there's room to grow on this one. So for that, but again, you look at some of the comments that are being made. Like, I'm with Dan. And I think it's more because of the fact I'm biased and I love Fantastic Four. But Fantastic Four 19, I'd probably get that over this price point. But again, I don't know, man. Like, the more I read into people comparing this to Giant Size X-Men or the Avengers, things like that, I mean, I wouldn't put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a $3,000 book in the near future.
9.8.
9.8.
Yeah, of course, 9.8.
We'll get a 9.0 thinking, it's going to be a $3,000 book. That's not what I'm saying.
The only thing, though, and I know this argument might not be too, like, I know people are going to bring up UF4, but this is one of those other books that was also didn't exactly have a low print run either.
Yeah, it's true.
So, could it get to? Honestly, that's really going to depend probably on how well the character holds water in terms of, like, let's say first off, Kate Bishop is probably going to be the immediate character that's going to come.
So spike right there. So that 1,200 turns into 18.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
And then
Patriot does something. Kang is already in Ant-Man 3. People start connecting the dots. Already at 2,000, 2,200. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not crazy when you think about those spikes. And I know it's like, well, wait, Newbie, you just went up 1,000. But that's kind of how these things work. That's kind of how these spikes happen.
Right. But I think I'm going to say we're a bit like we have some time for that. But then I also said the same thing for UF4.
Yeah.
Honestly, this market's too hard to predict at this point.
Here's the thing, and we've talked about it because you guys have heard my opinion about mirror images, like especially in the movies and things like that. But I look at this book as not the giant size X-Men. I look at this book as Avengers 1. And yeah, oh, well, Newbie, how'd you come up with that? A young event? Yeah, that's kind of where I see this book. I kind of see it with that mirror image, just like I see the other characters as the mirror images, right? So like Riri, Sam Alexander, Camila Khan, like all those. That's kind of how I see it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see this book being a big book. That's all.
And just a side note on this, if you happen to have the entire Young Avengers run, you're pretty much in the money, because a lot of those issues in that 12-issue runs are spiking, not just number 1.
Yeah.
I would cut this, like in terms of modern runs that you would want to have in your collection, this, Thor, God of Thunder, and probably the Matt Fraction Hawkeye series are probably the 3 series. If you had those in your PC, there's a lot of heavy hitters in those collections.
Now, I do want to bring this up because I see that Miguel is saying, how can anybody compare a 50-year book with something printed 10 to 5 years ago? Here's how. And this is just my logic, is the fact that you're not buying necessarily the book. I get it. It's a 5-10 year book. It's modern. We don't want to spend it. But at some point, the people who are priced out of, say, those really big Silver Age books are probably going to be like, all right, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a gamble. And I'm going to buy this book right now at $1,200. And if you look at where everything is going, right? So like, let's look at the projects that have already been announced, right? I think a lot of people forget that movies, they usually bring out like 2 or 3 movies a year, Marvel does, right? But then you don't really see a sequel or anything come up with those characters for another year or 2 after, because it's not consecutive years.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're looking at, okay, well, if this is going to be something big and these characters are going to be big, you're already looking at a 5 to 8 year period. So at that point, the book is already 20 years old. By the time those characters start hitting, you're probably looking at about 25 to 30 years, where that's where you're going to see your run. And I get it. Okay, Newbie, you're telling me to hold this book for 20 to 30 years? There's some people that have been holding on to Hulk 181, Giant Size X-Men, like all these books for a very long time and cashing out now. So that's just all I'm saying. I'm not trying to compare it and say, oh, this is the same equivalent of Avengers 1, which is an old book. I'm just saying that, like, you have to look at these modern, because eventually we're going to get out of modern. At some point, we have to turn into the Corona age, or the Newbie age, or whatever the case may be, right? So,
and listen, I know you make this joke a lot when you call it a retirement book. There's a reason that term exists, because people treat some of these books as investment pieces, where people have these, because not everyone's gonna bring these books to their grave. At some point, people will want to cash out, and some people, that's what they do. They sit on these books, and they know that after 20, 30 years, like, these books will reach. Look, case in point, Action. I mean, that's a very extreme example. The 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's extreme, man.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to go to that high of a number, but there are books that, give it 10, 20 years, and that the money that you would have paid then for a book, would have compounded. Not every book is obviously going to hold water like that. It has to be a major key. Don't expect every book that you buy that's modern. Like, I think the general rule is like almost 80% of modern books end up being dollar bin fodders anyways. It's those diamond in the roughs that you end up holding on to. Those are the ones that, if you hold them on for like, for a good 20, 30 years, those are the ones that will probably, you'll see your ROI, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think the comparison as far as modern books to 50-year-old books or whatever is kind of irrelevant anyway, because I mean, they're 2 different price points. So if you're looking to go to the price point for Giant Size X-Men, obviously that's the book that you're going to get. This is a lower price point still. So if this is the price point that you're looking at, and you feel strongly about these characters, you're only buying it for 1 of 2 reasons. You're buying it because you want to, add it to your collection, and you're probably not going to be giving it up anytime soon. Yeah. In which case, you're not really too worried about that Giant Size X comparison or anything. You obviously feel strongly about these characters, and it's an issue that you want to have. or you're buying it to turn around and sell it later. And the reason that it makes the thing that does make this the comparison irrelevant is that you already know the Kate Bishop series is coming. I mean, they're already filming it, and it is coming anyway. And you know that historically speaking, you've gotten a spike on a lot of key issues every time that a series has hit or a new character has shown up. So you know as soon as that series hits, you're going to get a spike with this book. So there will be at least some money to be made if that's your purpose in buying it, to resell it.
Yeah.
That being said, you probably should have bought it a couple months ago, though.
Yeah, you just have to look. You just have to look, and you have to, again, you have to take that risk, because if you ask some of the older and, you know, experienced collectors, right? Like, this is how I do things. Like, if I want to learn construction, I'm not going to go ask a chef. If I want to know how to, you know, what it takes to buy and drive a Mercedes, I'm not going to ask the guy that's driving a Toyota, right? So you sometimes have to go to your experienced collectors and things like that and look at how they do things. Like you know, Dan, for example, the first one that comes to mind, but there's plenty of other ones where they picked up books off the shelf, or books that were like, you know, or like books that nobody thought of, or they thought they were maybe too expensive. And then now they're just laughing because they have these big books, right? Like, look at all the people that had like 25 copies of Hulk 181, right? Like, you know, sometimes it happens. I'm not saying, like, I get it. $1,200 is a lot of money, especially for a modern, but you have to look at a modern from like a 10 to 15 year span away. So, you know,
it really is a lot of money for a modern. And you know, yeah, I mean, as soon as you start getting into the range that this is at, you can start kind of looking towards Ultimate Fallout 4, which was probably an even bigger investment. Well, not probably. It's definitely an even bigger investment, no matter how you slice it. But you know, so you probably can start looking at that other one. But even if you do get this one for, you know, you still want to try and find the most reasonable price you can now. Again, like we were just saying, you'll still make money when we see Kate Bishop at the very least.
Yep.
So
I was lucky because I think
safe.
I picked up this book raw. I think 2019. I think I paid $60 for it, and at that time I thought I was overpaying because, you know, this book was nowhere near what the value is right now. So, and the director's cut, I think it was like a $10 book at that time. So,
speak of Dan. Thing is, though, I've had to protect and store those now key issues for decades. Yeah, that's what you gotta do. It's patient.
Yeah, exactly. that's the bitch about it right there, is storing them.
Miguel asked a really serious question. I don't want to get into it too deeply because we've already been going 3 hours. So I'm gonna say really quickly. So Miguel says, "Newbie, I agree. But what would you really want to have in your PC in Ultimate Fallout 4 or an Avengers 4? Avengers 4. What is the?
I believe that's the first. Hold up. That's not. Is that the first Silver Age of Captain America? The first Silver Age.
Is.
I think that's
what Dustin, that's what Dustin showed off actually on the.
I think that's the first Silver Age appearance.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is he talking about the first volume?
I believe. Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, it probably just depends, man, because you have to look at, again, what you think the future holds, right? Like, that Avengers 4, I get it, is going to be iconic. Captain America's iconic, but at the same time, if you truly believe Miles is the future, I mean, at $4,000, that book is only going to go up, right?
Yeah, so, and it is the first Silver Age appearance of Cap, and also it's the issue also when Cap joins the Avengers.
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Maybe we'll leave that for keep, sell, buy, argument's sake, Ian. So, yeah, appreciate that, man. That's a good question, man. And honestly, if it wasn't the fact that we were already going 3 hours, you know, we could talk about it for a bit. So maybe bring that to our next show or our next discussion. All right, guys. That's our show. Hyper, where can we find you? And please don't tell me you only have 2 videos on your channel.
Well, then you better put it to face then. But yeah, you can find me at hyper.combo.comics on IG. I have my YouTube video. I can give you 2 guesses on how many videos I have on my YouTube channel. If you want a hint, look at the previous episodes and you'll know how many. What I have coming up is, I'll be on Newbie's show on Tuesday, and in 2 weeks I'll be defending my comic TV title against an opponent that some people are already saying might actually take my title. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but hopefully the people that have supported me this past Friday will come out in 2 weeks and help me hold that title. And I always try to bring the heat. All I ask is you guys come and give me the support.
Face, what do you got to say, man? Where can we find you? What's going on with your YouTube channel?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm in kind of the same boat as Hyper, the same as we were. But me and Hyper actually have been working together with our other co-host Keys on getting our weekly show. Yeah, we're getting up and running together, coming. And me and Keys are actually working on a reshoot of the Transmetropolitan video because it got a really bad echo on it. So.
All right. And speaking of Key Issues, don't forget to sub our fourth amigo, our fourth musketeer, Mr. Key Issues. His link in description is down below. He's got videos and stuff like that. He's just been working crazy, so he hasn't really been able to be with us, but we're going to hopefully have all 4 amigos shortly and soon. So that's it for us. Thanks for tuning in. And guys, keep searching for them books. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.